sissified boy, effeminate men, spread your cheeks, they all soft. Dog, I need my boyfriend. Please, spread your leg, dog. Suck my ass, please. Please, dog. Philip came in from his office with a moist beard, and he wrung out his sweat ring stained shirt. I maneuvered myself over to him and I said, Phil, let me handle the memberships for you. Dog, I'm not a good dog. I need my boyfriend. Please, spread your leg, dog. Suck my ass, please. Please, dog. I need my boyfriend. Please, laying on your back, dog. Suck my ass, please. Please. Man, I want to thank everybody for the 1K. We finally made it. We did it, and it could not have happened without you guys.
If these entities were trying so hard to contact us, why would they be so cryptic? Why would they be always hiding? It doesn't make any sense. There's got to be an explanation. Nice, slow, just flow. My eyes twitch. My ears itch. No tips. I am licking my lips. I hear it inside. I open my eyes. I know I can hide. Something is moving. I swear it's not me. I'm open block is still penetrating. Roll back and sway. Deep in way. I'm losing my life, my son and my wife. I am begging you, please. You got what I need. Oh God, you hear it again?
We're shit. He's waking up.
Corner demons coming alive. Crawling up the walls. Better open your eyes. Empty your wallet. Open your ears. I got 2 big bills and a bucket of tears.
I have a successful business. I'm happy doing what I do. Next month when I get paid, it's gonna be like way low compared to what I get paid from YouTube. I am nervous. I'm too stressed out. I'm already at my wit's end. I got a million things I'm juggling to try to make happen. There's just too much going on right now in my life.
It's not my fault. I did nothing wrong. Watch me explode. Try to get memorable. Try to ruin my business, but I am a success. I got a finance degree and a pile of vests. Did you see that thing that was up in the corner here?
We're shit. He's waking up.
Corner demons coming alive. Crawling up the walls. Better open your eyes. Empty your wallet. Open your ears. I got 2 big bills and a bucket of tears. I am Satan Burnell. I'm changing my name to Lucifer Satan Burnell from now on.
Is it the end of days? Is it the end of the world? Is it the second coming of the son of Satan?
Satan has come for me!
The devil's after me!
I am Satan. Hail Satan. Coming for you, Sister Catherine.
Heal thyself, hail Satan, loving the truth tonight.
Satan is evil.
Satan worship, one side worship for God, one side worship for Satan flashing.
Yes!
Your dad is Satan.
Satan.
Kill him. Kill the demon. Rip its head off. Shove it up its ass.
Demon in the corner.
Satan lives in her pussy.
Here it is, Demon Child, on the floor. Burn in hell, Burnell. Now I'm gonna burn in hell for the rest of eternity. Dark Seed of Field cheered again. Are you insecure about your marriage? Fuck no. If you're so immature to understand that I don't want to do romance missions in games because I have tons of real life romance, not fantasy romance in games, you think it's because I'm insecure in my marriage? You're an idiot, and you're the immature one.
I think one of the things that would hurt Phil the most is if he suddenly didn't have a wife anymore.
I am not separated from my wife. She is home right now. You're a moron. My marriage is good. My marriage is good. My marriage is good. How is my marriage? My marriage is good. We stay home. We order food. I troll. Speculate. Let me set the record straight. Cat is downstairs crying. When I masturbate, leave my wife out of it. She's beating demons. My marriage is good. My marriage is good.
Hello, Tyrone.
It's going good. We stay home. We order food. I troll. Speculate. Let me set the record straight. Cat is downstairs crying. When I masturbate.
Addiction, bankruptcy, jail, back taxes, rehab, divorce.
Makes me spin in my chair. What about healing Seattle air?
Another dollar tip came in from Tyrone. We need to hang out again.
So I guess what happened is this morning, my wife was doing stuff in the kitchen, getting ready to go to work, and she says her shirt got caught on the handle of the cabinet. So she walked back and it pulled and it yanked the whole fucking front of the cabinet apart. I go downstairs
And the vacuum cleaner is in the middle of the floor.
I'm really not fat. Did you ever find a restraining order? I'm really not fat. Did you ever find a restraining order?
Sounds good to me.
and I say, Cat, what's wrong? Oh, the vacuum cleaner broke.
What?
The motor must have gone because there was smoke.
It's a joke.
And all of a sudden she says, Phil, you gotta come in the back, we got a major problem. The shower valve broke. The tub is clogged. Probably got 8 years of dirt, and it doesn't work.
So, my wife can't work today. I was awoken to be told the car doesn't start. That's shocking.
I tested the car last night, all right? Sit down in the car, go to start it, it just won't start.
I'm really not fat. Did you ever find a restraining order? I'm really not fat. Did you ever find a restraining order?
My marriage is good. My marriage is good.
Oh, Tyrone, it's going good. We stay home, we order food, I troll, speculate, I want to set the record straight. Cat is downstairs crying. When I masturbate.
Hello, good morning. This is Troll Talk featuring DS Politics. I'm going to watch through this because somebody has to. Thank you for coming along this morning. Thank you, Len. Thank you, Iwamoto in the chat. Big ups, guys. And big ups, Sonny. Sonny was here earlier. He put the call-in blurb in the chat. Hope everybody is having a good Sunday morning. I'm not going to waste any time because we've got things to do today. I'm going to get right into it. So here we go. This is DS Politics from DSP's own Kick stream. Here we go, I guess. I'm going to pop it in theater mode so that we see his chat. Chat reactions, very important. And for some reason, my bitrate is all over the place this morning. I don't know. It was fine before stream, but obviously when I start the stream, everything kind of goes sideways. However, we do have a promo that was sent in by a fan of the show. Here we go. Take it away, loyal fan of the show. Here we go.
DSP here. When I'm not begging my stream for money, I'm listening to Troll Talk on Taking L's.
Thank you for the endorsement, DSP. Let's go. There we go. That's better. I hate this intro, but I feel like we have to watch it. It's just part of it. It's part of the process. This is how you do govern. What's up, Michael? It is cursed, but that's why we watch it. It's the real experience. It's the true experience.
Alrighty, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the show. It's DS Politics, here live exclusively on Kick on DSP Gaming Real. It is Friday.
Here we
November
fucking
29th,
go.
2024. Had to reschedule this week because
Strap
of
in,
American
people.
Thanksgiving yesterday. I hope that you and yours, if you are,
We're going to be watching
American,
this at
had a great holiday.
1.5
I
speed,
certainly
by
had
the
a good
way.
one. And now it is time
Because he talks
to
too
talk
slow.
politics, my friends. This week, we've got a wide variety of topics. We do. We've got things concerning Thanksgiving. We've got tariffs. We've got sentencings that have been indefinitely postponed. We've got riots in the streets and people in charge dancing at concerts during it. We've got Jaguar going crazy with their company, which is wild. And just all kinds of stuff.
Jaguar
really,
news.
good variety of topics to cover this week.
That's
I hope that
fancy.
you are here to enjoy. I certainly am. And FYI, the way that this works, it's about a 2-hour show, and we see how long we give each topic dependent, on the time period. Sometimes we have more time for certain.
All right, are you going to start your shit?
I put out on that channel.
I'm skipping all the useless promo bullshit.
Let's get started, shall we?
Here we go.
All right, our first topic of the night. I would like to take a quick look at all of those cases that were leveraged against now President-elect Donald Trump. And what I mean by that is, if you remember, in the last year or 2 years, Donald Trump has been dragged through the mud a lot in court.
Oh, boy.
Basically out of nowhere. With perfect timing coincided with this election that just
Oh,
happened.
my
Donald Trump
brother
started
in
getting indicted
Christ.
for a whole bunch of stuff. Notably, the biggest one.
This is going to be, he's just like me, for. You know what? Maybe it's time. This would be a good time to open up to a predictive call-in segment. So I'm actually going to do that right now. I will put the call-in blurb in the chat, and I'm going to pin it. Anybody that would like to predict this segment, preferably someone who hasn't seen it, feel free to. If you would like to call in, you can use Discord. A link is pinned in the chat. Link is also in the description of this video. But if you'd like to call in via the phone number is 1-917-740-8933. You can use *67 for anonymous calling. Keep in mind, whether you use anonymous calling or not, your number will not be shown to anyone or seen by anyone. That number again, 917-740-8933. We can talk about predictions for this show and this segment if you would like. If not, I'm just going to go ahead and move on. If you want to get in on the Discord side, you can hop in the waiting room on Detractor Beam. Give that a couple seconds, and if we don't have anybody that bites, no worries. We're just going to go ahead and move on. But if you do want to chime in over the course of the show or the segment, feel free to use either of those methods. I'll be keeping an eye on them. Give that a couple seconds. I think this is going to be a he's just like me for segment. I think. Oh, he's just like me. He's got trolls. He's got people who slander him all day, every day. That's what I think. I know that's kind of a shallow take, but Phil is nothing if not predictable. No callers yet, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Let's see what old Philip has to say.
That everyone's talked about is that he had a hush money payment to Stormy Daniels, a porn star, supposedly for an interaction that they had years and years ago that he didn't want her to talk about.
I mean, but that was proven, right? Like the Stormy Daniels payment was exchanged by his campaign. Like, this is proven. This was not a lie. Like, this was backed up by forensic accounting. Hello?
During the last presidential campaign, okay? And so basically he was indicted for that. Now, actually, if you look into the story, that's not the story at all. The story is Donald Trump, like many rich people, was basically trying to save money on taxes and or rigmarole the books so that he didn't have to pay as much money as he normally would have. What do I mean? Well, basically he had a lawyer, and that lawyer was paying money to various parties during this whole thing going down, and he wanted to classify his payment to the lawyer as something different than what it really was to save money.
Oh, that sounds like someone we follow here on the internet, yeah? That sounds suspiciously like someone we follow. Like how Phil is constantly saying a tip is categorized as a different form of income than, say, his YouTube payment or a super chat. That sounds very interesting.
On taxes and or fees or whatever it may be. That's not legal. it's basically illegal to do that. You have to classify your money properly in the books. So he was trying to.
You would know better than anybody,
but
Phil.
It's funny because all of the liberal media have covered this story as this is Donald Trump's big hush money indictment. No, it's not. He's never been indicted for hush money. What are you talking?
Yeah, but he was convicted on 12 other criminal charges, some of them financial. He's playing the semantics game hard. He was factually convicted on 12 felony charges, some of them financial in nature. Like, he is really twisting words here.
Talking about? He's being indicted because he paid his lawyer a financial payment and called it something it wasn't. It had nothing to do with that. So I don't know why all these outlets got away with calling it that when literally that was never the issue. Like, Trump was never indicted for making a hush money payment ever, but that's what they all reported. Anyway.
That also doesn't mean he didn't do it. Like, that's the thing. Do you think a guy like Donald Trump probably paid people? Yeah, absolutely.
On top of that, there were things all over the place that people were trying to hit him with, all these lawsuits and issues, because they felt if we drag him through court during the election, the American people will not vote for him. Okay. Now, you might argue one way or another because it's like, well, did he do things wrong? Well, yeah. It's not a hush money trial. It's not a hush money payment that really he did wrong, but he did misclassify financial payments for personal gain.
Okay, so he did it then. So now you're admitting that he did do something wrong and he did potentially break the law. Just because someone is not convicted for something doesn't mean they didn't break the law. Phil's argument is fundamentally a legal argument of whether or not Donald Trump did anything wrong under the law, and he kind of just said that he did, though he wasn't convicted. All right, this is weird.
That is a crime.
Stupid.
And Donald Trump, in my opinion, should be held accountable for any crimes that he's committed. The problem with this is that we have an entire system, a governmental system, where the people at the top frequently do this. It's not just Donald Trump doing it. He wasn't the one bad apple. They all do stuff like this constantly. The thing is, they all pat each other on the back. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. And they all just let it happen.
That's politics, baby.
No one ever gets investigated. No one ever gets indicted. No one ever gets into trouble.
That's
for doing the kind of things
politics.
that Donald Trump did. However, they did not want Trump to win the presidency. So they decided now will be the one time, the exception to their set of rules, where they're going to go after someone for a misclassification of a legal payment like this. So that's really what it was. Trump calls it a witch hunt. Is it a witch hunt? Not necessarily, but
this is not opportunistic, Phil. Okay, maybe it is, but he's acting as though there was not a special counsel investigating Trump for many crimes while he was in office. He's acting like they're just doing this now. No. Trump has been investigated by both parties since the first time he was in presidential office. I don't really know where Phil's going with this. He's meandering.
Definitely is an unfair use of the legal system where everyone else who's rich and powerful and famous or a politician can do this. But Donald Trump was not allowed to because he was running for president and people don't like him. So then they went after him. It really was politically motivated when you analyze it. Okay. So this week,
I mean, everything is politically motivated. And should not the sitting president be held to a higher standard? Isn't that a good argument to make, that the sitting president should be held to a higher standard? I don't know.
Man, did everything fall apart. All of Trump's criminal cases have basically had their charges dropped or they're completely derailed. Let's take a look at this by this article here in Forbes. Special counsel Jack Smith dropped the federal government's 2 criminal cases against President-elect Donald Trump on Monday, as Trump's state cases are already poised to be delayed for years as he takes office, underscoring how the ex-president's legal strategy to drag out his prosecutions for as long as possible ultimately kept him from facing most of his criminal charges. Trump's election was a death knell for 2 federal criminal cases against him, as Smith asked the court to dismiss 2 cases against Trump in light of his pending inauguration. And Trump's criminal case in Georgia is expected to be postponed until at least 2029.
Okay, the Georgia case was election fraud and tampering, by the way. He's acting like these 2 cases against Trump were the only ones. And I will say, Forbes is actually a fairly reliable source. I'm pleasantly surprised that Phil is citing a Forbes article, because Forbes, I would call Forbes slightly right-leaning because it's business-oriented and its main audience is conservative business types, but it's a reputable source that tends to get the facts correct.
Leaving Trump's New York conviction as the only charges against him that have been holding up, though his sentencing is now on hold potentially until after he leaves office. And Judge Juan Merchan is still...
I don't know what inspired him to be political.
So here's all the cases against Trump. We're going to just go through them briefly. I won't go into massive detail, but basically here's the ones that were against him. There was a federal election case. Trump was indicted in August of 2023 for trying to overturn the 2020 election. It was supposed to go to trial in March, but Trump said, hey, can we pause that? Because I might have presidential immunity. And then the Supreme Court granted at least partial immunity in July about that. And now, since the case was delayed till after the election, they feel like there's no way that this case will ever go through. He's already reelected as president. How can you try him?
I mean, it won't. And there's a high chance that if he can pardon himself, he'll pardon himself. That's the thing. Donald Trump will most likely get away with whatever crimes he's being accused of, which I guess is within the law. It's unethical, but it's within the law. This is not really news. I'm just waiting for Phil to say he's just like me for fur, like he does, you know?
For interfering in an election that happened before, when the people have spoken, this is our leader. Okay? Federal documents case. Trump was indicted in June 2023 for allegedly withholding White House documents and obstructing the government's investigation into them. And while Cannon originally scheduled the case to go to trial in May,
the documents case was factually proven as well. He had boxes of classified documents that were germane to an investigation that he was holding at Mar-a-Lago. See what happens when you read? All you got to do is read, and you can know this stuff. These articles, I know from a legal standpoint, have to tiptoe around it because it's, ongoing legal case, pending litigation, allegedly. But no, they happen. There's evidence.
Trump filed a number of motions trying to drag out the case, and basically they slow walked it. And now that basically he's elected, they're like, well, I don't think this is really going to stick. So now it looks like the case has been moved to been dropped entirely. Okay, New York criminal case. This is the one we're talking about. This is the big hush money case that everyone is talking about. All right. So it was the only one to go to trial so far. He was convicted in May of 34 counts of falsifying business records based on hush money payments.
34 counts.
The falsifying of business records. Okay, he paid money to his lawyer. That's it. It was not him paying hush money to Stormy Daniels. This is a lie. This is literally a lie.
Yeah, but okay. So the idea is they used campaign money to pay his legal representation, who then paid money to Stormy Daniels. Like, there's a financial paper trail. I'm not here to litigate the case. The case is gonna go whichever way it goes, whether it gets thrown out, whether it goes through, whatever. I'm not here to relitigate the case. I'm not here to say whether or not what Trump did was wrong. But objectively, factually, it was proven that Donald Trump paid his legal representation to pay Stormy Daniels off. That is a thing that happened. Like, that's one of the first things against him that everybody was able to prove because it was very easy.
Again, we're reading an article that's a lie. This is driving me nuts because why is Forbes allowed to get away with this? Okay, there was a trial about Trump paying his attorney money, and he said it was for one thing, but it was for another because he was trying to save money. He was basically
thank you for pointing that out. Telonis, I think your name is in the chat. It is very dangerous for people who don't understand journalism to do streams like this. Very dangerous, because he could misunderstand a word and that changes the context of an entire paragraph or perhaps an entire article in some cases. And that's what he's doing now. Like, he's not understanding. He's not understanding the idea. What's up, Leo? Sure, Leo. He's not understanding that, like, these things happened. The debate is not over whether they happened. The debate is whether or not they rise to the level of being against the law. You know? Like, these things happened. He's acting like they never happened. No, they did. There's evidence. If there weren't sufficient evidence, they wouldn't be bringing multiple cases against Trump. That's the thing.
Trying to get out of paying fees or taxes or whatever it was on the payment. That's it. He was not being indicted for a hush money payment to Stormy Daniels.
Also, the idea of Phil saying, well, it wasn't that bad because he didn't actually pay off a porn star that slept with him or whatever and talked about it. He's just evading taxes. He's only evading federal and state taxes, guys. It's not that bad. I do that. Like, Phil is basically saying, I do that all the time, therefore it's not that bad. Very, very interesting, Philip.
But read that. Just read that. Falsifying business records based on hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Completely wrong. Literally false. How are they fucking allowed to do this? I don't know. This drives me insane that our media does this.
How? So if this source is wrong, then what is your source? What is your source for it being non-factual? I just want him to cite one source for the payments to Stormy Daniels from Michael Cohen being that they didn't happen, because it's fairly clear that they did. That's not the question. The question is whether or not it was a violation to the extent that Trump should be prosecuted for it.
Every single day. That is not the reason that this was being tried and that he was convicted. None of it. None of this at all is true. This is all bullshit. Okay?
Why?
So, anyway.
Show a source.
What happened with it? Well, here's what happened with it. He delayed his sentencing, which was scheduled for July. Merchant paused deadlines in the case after prosecutors said they needed to evaluate how the case would move forward in light of Trump's election. He ruled on Friday to postpone the sentencing while Trump tries to have the verdict thrown out on his election.
Yeah,
While it's unclear
Iwamoto,
when
he
the sentencing
takes
will be
everything
scheduled,
literal.
prosecutors said
Everything
before ruling that while they
literally.
don't want the verdict to be dismissed entirely, they think it would be fair to postpone the sentencing until after Trump leaves office. Essentially, he's completely immune to anything until he's not president anymore. And by then, is it really going to go through or not? Probably not. And then there's a Georgia election case. Trump and his allies were indicted in August 2023 for their efforts to overturn the 2020 election. While a trial date for Trump...
I think the reality is that most, if not all pending charges against Trump will be dropped during his time in office. And then his convictions, he could theoretically pardon himself for his own convictions. So the odds of Trump going to jail at this point are very, very slim. And I can see Phil in his little gin brain head saying, man, I wish that were me. I wish I could get away with that.
Was not set in the case. Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis asked for a trial to take place in August before Trump and his co-defendants asked for Willis to be disqualified from the case over her romantic relationship with lead prosecutor
correct,
Nathan Wade.
Leo.
And so they ruled that she could stay on the case, but Wade had to resign. The case is still on pause while an appeals court considers the issue.
Phil just wants to relate it back to
all
himself.
Of that crap, all right. Now, in truth, if this was actually done all properly, would it ever have even gotten as far as it did? It's a good question, because you might have heard a few things in there that were tossed around, such as, wait a minute, are you saying that the judge in one case was dating an attorney? Well, that's not allowed. Well, wait a minute, let me get this straight. Basically, everyone involved was Democratic or liberal. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they were the only ones who were going after Trump. Like I said.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, ultimately, the Supreme Court has the authority to question or throw a lot of these federal cases out, and the Supreme Court does have a conservative majority. So the door swing, as Phil says, the door swings both ways. Ultimately, because of the structure and makeup of the courts right now, being mostly conservative, majority conservative for lifetime appointments, it goes the other way. He can't say, well, it was the Democrats going after him, where right now it is quite factually and provably the right protecting him. Like, Trump is right now being protected by right-wing institutions that he put in office. And the fact that Phil is not at least acknowledging that is very disingenuous. And I don't like it.
This kind of thing that he did, misclassifying a payment to his attorney to save some money, is literally a commonplace thing that people of his stature, business people, rich people, politicians, they do it all day, every day.
Correct. So the Poppy, that's sort of the point that I'm getting at. It is the legal institutions ultimately that are responsible for bringing these things to task, and he's thinking of it in terms of a political decision. These are politically charged decisions, and as I pointed out, the courts and the deciding bodies being majority Republican at this point will help Donald Trump and really sway things in his favor. But that's not something Phil is acknowledging either. He's making it a political argument of, oh, the Dems are going after him, while also not acknowledging the fact that the right is currently and has always protected him from an institutional perspective. It's very ill-informed and very disingenuous.
And no one ever goes after them for it, ever. Only Donald Trump, because they didn't want him to be president. So they figured they'd throw the book at him, right? So what's happened now is basically...
There were 2 investigations levied against Hunter and Joe Biden. I don't know what he's talking about. Joe Biden was investigated. Hunter Biden was investigated based on a spurious claim of a laptop with cocaine porn on it existing. I don't know how he's memory holing all this shit. People have gone after Hunter Biden on much more flimsy premises, and he's gonna say that only Donald Trump gets gone after? Like, no. Hunter Biden was brought up on a laptop that may or may not have existed because of a spurious New York Post expose that got published. Come on, Phil, read more.
It's all over. Like, there's really not going to be any further charges, it seems. At least if anything, the most that's going to happen.
If he knows, so lost in Technicolor, if he knows about Hunter's laptop, he's cool with it. I guarantee you.
They may or may not reevaluate and go back after him. Will they really?
And
go
again,
back after him?
I think it's worth saying my politics are left leaning, very left leaning actually. But I'm being very careful with how I present these streams because I'm not here to litigate politics. I'm here to call Phil out on his bullshit. That's my main focus. If you want to question the veracity of my claims, or you want to question my biases in the chat or in the comments, go for it. You're welcome to. But just know that I'm not here really to spout about my politics. I'm here to try and make sense of what Phil is saying based on my knowledge and what I've read politically, because I like to think that I've kept pretty plugged in politically, because I've been able to call Phil out on most of his shit just from memory, because I read. It's very simple.
I don't know. Now, in this case, also, there's this guy named Jack Smith. Okay, this guy was the one who had a lot of these cases going after Trump. He was like the guy to get Trump, to nail Trump. Well, guess what? It looks like what he's going to do is file a final report, and he is expected to step down and resign before Trump takes power. So basically, even the guy who was set to get Trump, get him before he gets elected, he's backing out and running away at this point. Will Trump's New York sentencing go forward?
I'm going to look that up. I don't know if I believe that. I'm going to look that up.
Because he claimed both his convictions should be thrown out because of his election and because of the Supreme Court's ruling giving him immunity from criminal charges. So it's not going to be decided until December 9th. But again, they're probably just going to rule that, hey, he's president now. We can't do anything to him until after his presidency ends, right? Will Trump get revenge against the prosecutors and judges? Now, that's an interesting question. Trump has vowed retribution against his political enemies when he retakes the White House, and has singled out Smith as someone that he wants revenge against. It's Jack Smith, who we just talked about, threatening to deport the special counsel even though he's not an immigrant. That's great. I'm going to deport you, but I'm not an illegal immigrant. I don't care. I'm going to deport your ass anyway. Others involved with Trump's cases who he's attacked include...
Okay, see how he laughs off like casual fascism? The Trump administration is talking about willfully deporting a U.S. citizen, willfully excommunicating a U.S. citizen, which is against the law, by the way. You'd have to charge someone with treason to actually excommunicate them like that. And Phil is just laughing about casual fascism. Like, yeah, it's a meme, and that's what Trump does. He memes. But he's very, he claims to care about justice and politics and the American way, but he laughs about shit like that.
Carroll, Merchant, and Willis, as well as New York Attorney General Letitia James and New York Judge Arthur.
I'm looking up info on Jack Smith because something seems...
On the flip side, Cannon may be rewarded by a future President Trump, as he's repeatedly praised the judge for favorable rulings she's issued in the documents case. So, let's be honest here, all right? Let's be very shockingly honest here. I'm going to tell you guys, I don't like Donald Trump. I've said this before. I actually feel like Donald Trump is a guy who's very crude, who is...
You don't like Donald Trump as a person, but you seem to agree with a lot of his policies. I think that's a distinction I'm going to say on these politics review streams over and over and over again. You don't like Donald Trump, but you favor him. And that's something that I don't really think that he'll say. He would rather Donald Trump in office than Kamala Harris or someone like Joe Biden. Just like for me, I don't like Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, but I'd rather them in office than Trump. But I don't like either of them as people or as politicians. But I'd rather them than Trump, if I'm being honest. Will he say that? Let's see.
Not necessarily always under self-control. And that's a problem. If he's supposed to be the president, he should be under
control. Big ups to
right?
Cute Rabbit. Big ups, Stevie James.
A lot of people around the world get it. He's kind of a blowhard. He's big, loud-winded, right? He makes these mean tweets and stuff like that, and they get it.
Phil is a card-carrying Republican who's popping.
Or,
absolutely.
North Korea or China, they may be very angry if he says something that they feel is over the top, too over-exaggerated, too over-blustering. And I do feel like, sadly, if he doesn't tone down his rhetoric in the second presidency, people are going to use that against him constantly. The thing is, a lot of people like that about him. They like the...
No, you asshole. You can't go on this huge rant 2 weeks ago about the pendulum swinging and then say, maybe Trump's a little extreme. No, fuck that. You went on this whole rant of how the pendulum is swinging to the right, baby, and Donald Trump is in office. Democrats, if you don't like him, get the fuck out. And now you're saying he's too extreme for me. No, fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking fence sitter. Get the fence post out of your ass, man.
The fact that unlike Biden, where Biden carefully chooses his words, and, careful about this.
Okay, critical point towards Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't know how to choose any of his words. I think it's worth saying that both Joe Biden and Donald Trump are in severe cognitive decline. I think Donald Trump just hides it better because he's more animated. He's more animated and he's better at presenting himself off the cuff. But Joe Biden does not choose his words. Joe Biden doesn't understand half of what he says at this point. He should be in a nursing home. Arguably, both of them should be in a cared nursing situation, but they're not. because our political system would rather choose between two old white dudes than like a 40-something black woman. You know, figure that out.
Trump doesn't care. He's just a normal guy like us. If he gets angry and he blows his top, right? But
Trump is not a normal guy, by the way. Trump had $1 billion as an 8-year-old. Trump is not a normal guy. To call Trump a normal guy is a fucking stretch, my man.
Is that necessarily the best to be a world leader? We've had him as a world leader for 4 years, and based on that initial...
I bet they both smell like poop. Who's popping? I bet they both smell like poop, and I bet they're both in adult diapers, which there's no shame in adult diapers. It's just the reality of getting old.
4 years. I definitely think that this next 4 could be interesting. Let's just put it that way, all right? For good and bad reasons. The thing is here, do I think that Trump...
Hold on, I gotta go back. What did he just say? What did he just say?
Is that necessarily the best to be a world leader? We've had him as a world leader for 4 years, and based on that initial 4 years, I definitely think that this next 4 could be interesting.
Okay, hold on. I thought he said this next war could be interesting. He said this next 4 could be interesting, as in 4 years. Okay, yeah, that'd be kind of fucked up if he was like, yeah, I'm all for war. Yes.
Let's just put it that way, all right? For good and bad
What's
reasons.
up, Tom Young?
The thing is here, do I think that Trump should have gotten away with some of the things he did? The one thing that he's been convicted of in a court of law is that he falsified documents essentially to save some money, right? Should he get off for that? Honestly, no, I don't think he should. I think he should serve his presidency, and then they should go back to it, and he should get in trouble for doing that. Now, what's the penalty for that? He falsified some documents to save money. I don't know. Is it jail time? Is it just a fee, a slap on the wrist, whatever it is? He should be the same as everyone else. He should be held accountable, all right? However, it shouldn't just be Trump. It should be everyone is held accountable for what they do. Not just, oh, Trump was the one they focused.
I agree that every politician that breaks laws should be held accountable. However, you have to prioritize importance, because in reality, they've all got skeletons and most of them are dirty. Most politicians are dirty. I used to work in political news. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. I was a production technician for a political news station. I saw a lot of this shit, at least at the state level in Connecticut. And if you went after all the politicians, you'd be locking them all up. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but when you're looking at prosecution and policing, you have to prioritize what's important, because we do not have the resources to go after everyone. That's why Phil breaks YouTube TOS on the fucking regular, but nobody ever goes after him.
Which is exactly what's happened here. Trump was the one they focused on to try to stop him from being elected. That's bullshit. Everyone should be...
Yeah, but the right was going after Hunter Biden to try and get Biden not elected. Like, the fact that he's not acknowledging that is very disingenuous, because the right arguably fabricated a laptop that was never proven to have existed, by the way. Nobody ever found that laptop or evidence of its existence or evidence of its sole existence. All it was 2 New York Post articles that mentioned that someone had a laptop with cocaine porn pictures of Hunter Biden on it. That's very flimsy, my dude. And you're not going to talk about that as a smear campaign? Get the fuck out of here. I don't like Joe or Hunter Biden. Fuck them. But you can't talk about the left coming after Trump without at least mentioning the Hunter Biden laptop. Come on, dude.
Held accountable for their actions in life, and everyone should be held to the same standard of justice in the U.S. justice system. If not, if there is preferential prosecution and preferential treatment, that means the system is broken and completely unfair. And we're supposed to be living in a country where everyone has equal rights, everyone gets treated equally. That's not the case with what just happened with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I don't know, Lost in Technicolor.
It has to go through for everybody else, all right? Now,
it clearly doesn't exist in his mind. And the thing is, it's a stupid issue. Like, I also don't like when the left harps on the fact that, like, oh, they went after Hunter for a laptop, a fake thing, whatever. Like, it's trolling. It's basically trolling if you think about it. They're making shit up. Like parties make shit up about each other all the time. They troll. But the difference is that some trolling is valid. Like, that's kind of why a lot of us troll DSP. There's some trolling that is legitimately valid because we see him do things on his own stream. Just like we see and hear Donald Trump do shit that's kind of sus and questionable in public, out in the open.
Here, in the U.S. government, constant favoritism.
Exactly who's popping. They make stuff up and see what sticks. And some DSP trolls do that too. There are some DSP A-logs that just make shit up. I am going to invoke duty for a second because I feel like that's what duty does. And I'm not going to come out and say that duty makes things up, but duty definitely skirts the line of fact and fiction with a lot of his clickbait titles to see if Phil responds, because he wants Phil to respond and he wants people to talk about it. He's kind of he'll make a clickbait title just to see what sticks, you know, and that's what political parties do to each other in large part.
Levels of people getting away with stuff. I'm just going to give you one easy example. Nancy Pelosi is the best investor on the planet, supposedly. Okay? How is Nancy Pelosi the best investor on the planet? She and her family invested magically in NVIDIA, a company that does graphics cards and things like that, right before NVIDIA had a huge breakthrough in AI and she made an insane windfall of profits. How the fuck did she know to invest in NVIDIA at that perfect time?
Come on, Phil. Okay. Does he really think speculative investing in AI is like a thing people don't know about right now? Like, how many people are investing in RTX AI or NVIDIA Studio or Google Gemini or Grok? Like, speculative investment in AI has been the thing to do for the past 5 years. That's not hard. I'm pretty sure I have some stocks in AI somewhere. I might have OpenAI stocks. So I don't know. I don't look at my fucking portfolio. I just let my financial consultant do shit with whatever money I give him. But like, that's not, again, this is a right-wing talking point that like, oh, how did she know? How did she know to invest in NVIDIA? I don't know. They were making AI technologies and like AI is hot right now. Hello?
When no one else did.
That's factually not true. Factually not true. He's acting like she's the only one that bought NVIDIA stock, but okay.
You expect me to believe it was dumb luck? Of course not. She's in the U.S. government. Someone tipped her in. She's rich already. She invests her.
Okay, but what about the? Hold on, I gotta look this up. There was some politician. Let's see. I gotta look this up. There was a politician, I think 2 years ago, was it? There was a well-known right-wing senator that literally got caught for insider trading. I gotta look this up. Keep watching him. I'm gonna look this up.
Makes tons of money. Now, is anyone gonna investigate Nancy Pelosi for insider trading, despite the fact that all the evidence is there? So if not, then why does everyone go after Donald Trump for stuff? You know what I mean? That's bullshit. It's either you go after everyone or you go after no one. Now, we cherry pick. We decide at a case-by-case basis who we like and don't like at the time to go after. If that's the case, all of us should be worried. God forbid, but what happens if you upset your government? What if you upset the government? You said something. Right now, I could say something on the show that pisses off the U.S. government. And all of a sudden, they could try to nail me to the wall with legal proceedings because they just don't like me right now. But everyone else could be doing exactly the same thing as me, but then they're okay. Is that fair? Is that a true legal process? No, that's completely unfair. That's preferential. That's messed up. If this is the case, this is how it's going to work in America, I'm sorry, we need to tear the system apart from the ground up. Enough with, oh, this person gets off, this person's fine, but this person gets nailed, this person gets treated differently. Enough is enough. I've had enough, it's just not right. That's not what our country stands for. That's not how our country should be. It should be equal treatment for all. And the truth is, I don't like Donald Trump, and I do feel that if...
All right, I found something. We're going on a field trip to the old Wikipedia. All right. So this is the 2020 congressional insider trading scandal. All right. And let's see. Look at all these senators that allegedly were implicated in insider trading in a widespread 2020 congressional insider trading scandal during the COVID-19 pandemic. Look, most notably, Senator Richard Burr, most poignant senator implicated in the scandal. He temporarily stepped down as chairman of the Intelligence Committee during the investigation. So we have members of the Intelligence Committee insider trading during a pandemic. I looked this up in about 2 minutes while he was talking. Is Nancy Pelosi is Nancy Pelosi mentioned in this? No. Nope. but the citations are there. I'm gonna put this wiki article in the chat if anybody wants to run it down themselves. But Phil acts like Nancy Pelosi is the only one who's ever been implicated in some insider trading. Again, I'm not saying that it's right. It's just he needs to do his research. He's implying that Nancy Pelosi is it. It begins insider trading in politics begins and ends with Nancy Pelosi because she bought some Nvidia stock. Like, no, fuck you. It's bigger than her.
He actually did commit those crimes. Okay, he should be held accountable for them. But then everyone else should as well. And that means, quite frankly, a sweeping up of our government, because I guarantee you, if all those people got investigated for their things that the suspect that they did wrong, half of them would be in jail right now. No exaggeration. They're all doing it, but they all get away with it because, again, it's pat me on the back, I'll pat you on the back. We all overlook what everyone's doing.
And if you got your anti-bullying policies you want for YouTube, they would come for you first, is the reality.
As long as we stay ahead and we stay in power and we stay rich and we control everything, it's all good. But hey, you better watch it, because if we do something we don't like, we're going to come after you. No, that's not America. That's not how the system was set up. That's absolutely not how it should be. Just because you're rich or
we're going to
or
2 times speed,
or someone who owns
he's talking way too slow.
The system. That's not how it was ever designed, and it needs to be overhauled. We let those people, those grouping of people, have way too much power over us. I mean, they call them the 1% for a reason. They literally hold on to most of the wealth, and it's 1% of the population, and they're just immune to anything, right? They fail up constantly, and they can never be at fault. And they never
Just Dave raises like the most poignant point of all of this. How do you prosecute the people that make that write the laws that would potentially prosecute them? That's why loopholes exist. The whole reason why tax loopholes exist for the rich is because rich people write the laws, right? Has Phil ever thought of that? The whole reason why rich people are able to exploit the tax code is because laws are written by them. You know? Think about it.
Go after them as well. That's just fair. Okay.
Phil's a rap god. I don't know.
Finish that one up. Let me go ahead and close it so I remember that we talked about it. Okay, a couple shout outs. Dark Side Pimp, gifted a sub, so I want to be sure to catch that. Thank you, Dark Side.
All right, I'm going to queue up.
Close 1%. All right, so quick look here. And migrant percent or so it's this whole tariff discussion.
Oh, fuck. Immigration and tariffs. Okay. I'm going to open it up for another call-in segment if anybody wants to call in. We'll take a couple minutes to do that. And if not, we'll just keep on pushing on. But if you would like to participate in the call-ins, you can do so in the Discord. A link is in the description. It'll take you to the waiting room on Detractor Beam, and then I can pull you into a call. And then also, if you'd like to call in via the phone number is 1-917-740-8933. If you'd like to remain anonymous, you can use *67 before dialing. And then also that number again, 1-917-740-8933. So if we have any callers or anybody that wants to step in, feel free to step in. If not, I will just go ahead and move on. Also, if you want to hop in at any point, feel free to. I am keeping an eye on the Discord and keeping an eye on the phones if anybody would like. So we'll give a couple seconds for that if anybody's interested. And if not, we're just going to keep it pushing. I am very interested to see what his take on taxes and tariffs are, because I don't think he'll understand the nature or the purpose of tariffs and how tariffs have become very perverted and twisted to favor the corporations that they're supposed to punish and punishing the customer that they're supposed to help. Because ultimately, tariffs are designed to help the consumer, but they have been twisted to hurt them most of all. And I wonder if Phil understands why. All right, no calls yet, but I'm going to keep it pushing. And if anybody would like to call in, phones are open and the Discord is open. But without further ado, we're just going to keep it pushing.
With Canada. And this has stirred up a lot of discussion and a lot of controversy this week, notably not only among people just talking about politics, but among the world leaders of Mexico and Canada, respectively. So let's take a quick look here at what actually is going on with this whole tariff discussion. So basically, Trump is laying the groundwork for a trade war, or so it seems. So there's 50 days left till Trump takes office.
Okay, The Guardian. Okay, I'm a guy that's into sources. The Guardian, U.S. reputable news source. As far as I'm concerned, The Guardian is a reputable news source. They do have a good U.S. branch. Oh, we do have Iwamoto on the troll phone. Hold on, let me bring Iwamoto in. Good morning, Iwamoto. You are on the Discord side of the troll phone. How are you, and what's on your mind?
I'm doing very good. It's still relatively early here in Europe. It's only 4 o'clock. What's on my mind today? Well, as I was listening to the first segment, the thing that really struck me the most is I think you can sort of correlate DSP starting a politics show and all these views directly to Elon Musk buying X. Because I was thinking about it just now. This man lives on the internet. He just never goes out. If he does, his wheel gets stolen or something. So he is constantly online on X, and it's safe to say that ever since Elon took over, it's been shifting slightly more to the right, slowly. And I really feel that that's probably why DSP has these sourceless big claims, like, oh, Nancy is the big evil, and this isn't true, and yada yada. I really feel that there's a case to be made that, this is all connected.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about it from that angle, but it is very clear that he feels very safe in this current climate because there really are no stakes anymore for him because the election's over. Yet he feels safe to spout nonsense because Elon is Elon and he kind of does whatever he wants. And it's very safe to say the things he's saying because Trump is coming into office in January. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, it really feels like when he says the pendulum has swung, it's not just the elections, but I feel also just X.
Yes.
and I guess that's his life is X.
Absolutely.
So every headline he sees, everything he sees is like, oh, it's all right wing now, guys. See? And
yeah. No, that's I find that to be true because Twitter will serve you outrage, and you don't really have to look for it. And he spends his whole day off scrolling on Twitter. We all know this, so he's reading Twitter headlines all day.
Yeah, and then he comes up with all these takes and all these outrageous claims where you're like, where could he have read that? Well, yeah, probably right here on X. It all happens on X.
It all happens on X. That's at least where it starts. Although I will say, and again, people were calling me out in the comments of the last video on the VOD that I wasn't giving DSP enough credit. I actually am giving him a little bit of credit for picking better sources today. He's still misinterpreting the articles, but he is picking better sources. We've got a Forbes article and then a Guardian article versus he was pushing obvious bias right-wing tabloids like the New York Post last week, which is nuts. Cool, but thanks for calling, Iwamoto. Anything else on your mind?
Just one question, because you're in America and so you might notice. I know DSP has bought like 2 UPSs, but as far as I know, when the power goes out, so does your internet. At least here, that's almost always the case. Is that different over there?
Well, so if he's on fiber, then he's not on fiber. But typically, typically, if you're on fiber and the power goes out, the internet's down. But he's on a coax system, and for coax internet, as long as your modem is powered, which it could be powered by a UPS. It'll still work. Like I have my router and modem on a UPS, so if it goes down during the stream, I could theoretically at least shut down properly and end the stream properly. So yeah, based on what I know of his infrastructure, he should stay up as long as his modem is powered. So
okay, so then it makes a little more sense to wait $300. Okay.
Yeah, a little more sense. I still think he went overboard to get 2. But hey, to each their own, I guess. But,
he has 2 PCs, so it makes sense in his head.
Yeah, true. Absolutely. But thanks as always for calling in, Iwamoto. But thanks for the positivity on the stream, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Right, bye. All right. Thank you very much, Iwamoto. Let's see. I'm just going to check to see if we have anybody on the phone. No, we don't. All right, so that's the call-in segment over. Let's move on.
A 25% tariff on all imports from Canada and Mexico, along with an additional 10% tariff on imports from China and a reported retaliation for drugs and migrants crossing U.S. borders. Although the president-elect promised to issue universal tariffs on the campaign trail, hitting all the goods imported from overseas, these are specifically targeted at the U.S.'s 3 largest trading partners. Trump said he will sign the executive order on the 20th of January, his first day in office. So what the tariff is very simple, okay? Tariffs are taxes. Anyone who's going to send their product into our country and try to sell it here, well, he's going to put a tax on it to make it more expensive for them to do that. And basically that tax goes right to the government, and the government gets to keep that money and use it for whatever it wants. So Why would Trump do that? Well, there's various different reasons why. Maybe he just needs the money, and our country is in an insanely huge financial deficit, so this would obviously help our budgets. But what he's essentially saying is he feels that these particular three countries, Canada, Mexico, and China, are responsible for a lot of bad things happening, whether it's drugs, crime, illegal immigrants, and by putting these tariffs in place, this is going to tell them, hey, clean up your act.
Hold on, though. So I don't know what comes from Canada besides maybe maple syrup, but I know Mexico, we import a lot of like fruits and vegetables from Mexico, and China, most of our electronic assembly is done in China. So anybody that's looking to buy graphics cards or hard drives or TVs, anything that's assembled in China, get ready for markups. Because the problem with tariffs, and I want to know if he understands this, the problem with tariffs is that they are designed theoretically to incentivize the company to source things domestically because it costs the company more. But the issue is the company is going to pass that upcharge, that markup onto you. So you as the consumer, like let's say you buy a 5 series graphics card, like when you can, when they're readily available, when they're widely available. I like to think that most GPU manufacturers do have their stock assembled and built in China. I think that's kind of a known thing at this point. If you want to buy a 5 series graphics card in a couple of months, you're going to be paying the markup on it, not Nvidia, because Nvidia is going to pass that along to you. You know what I mean? So it's only going to make things more expensive for you, and it's a very easy way for the company to mark things up. He doesn't understand that tariffs, because of loopholes, financial loopholes in business, don't do what the government needs them to do. So it just comes back to him being illiterate.
Because if you don't, we're going to keep these tariffs in place, and it's going to make it very expensive for you to do business in the United States. So the funny part about
Roachbait says a blanket tariff covers all imports. All import. Well then we're fucked, because the United States imports most things except potatoes. Pretty much, we make water and potatoes and cars and grapes and wine. I don't know. We don't make much. So the fact that we are a nation that is so heavily dependent on imports for our luxury goods, it's not going to be a good holiday season this year then. Not going to be a good holiday season.
Who's pays for
even in terms of like financial speculation, because you know that the companies are already going to start upcharging now because they can, because they're like, oh, the tariffs are coming. Yeah, we make beer, we make cheese. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The truth is, it is those countries
and lots of corn. That's right.
That will pay for tariffs. Okay. However, the end result is that sadly, most of the time when a tariff is imposed, it's the people of the country where the tariff is imposed.
Oh, you know what? I got to give him a little credit. He knows. He knows the people. He knows that the citizens of the country will pay for the tariff. Okay.
That get the shaft. Meaning, for example, I'll give you an example here. Let's say that we import car parts from China. All right. I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying, let's assume we import car parts from China. Let's say right now, to get a particular car part, it's $25. But now Trump is going to put a 10% tariff on all products coming in from China. So that means they have to make less money on the sale. So what happens is the company selling it just raises the prices. So now when you go to buy that part that used to be $25, now it's $28. So actually, even though the tariff is in place, you think, oh, that's really going to put a stranglehold on the country.
Notice how he rounded it up to the nearest dollar. If it was a 10% tariff, it would go up to $27.50. But then he rounded it up to the nearest. He's always rounding. Do you guys notice that? He doesn't like pennies. I'm surprised he didn't round it down, because he loves to round those contributions down.
In reality, it's the consumer at the end of the line that ends up paying that tariff, you see? Now, here's the thing. That's actually not what's supposed to happen. Okay, the intention is that you do put the choke on the company, and the company says, oh, crap, we need to make more profit, so we better do the right things, the tariff will be removed. But for some odd, bizarre reason, we allow this to happen. We allow these companies to raise their prices, and when they do, we pay. And that does confuse me, all right? Because last time I checked, we are in a free market. Like, you're not forced to buy the Chinese car part. You could buy another car part, correct? You have the option when you go to the store. I can buy this one, or this one, or this one.
I mean, we're not actually, like, we are theoretically in a free consumer market. That's true. But we are at the mercy of what these major corporations that sell us things choose to import. Like, if you want to have your air conditioner serviced, right? And you need a new compressor for your air conditioning unit, the odds are you're at the mercy of whatever the technician can buy, right? It's going to be a Chinese part. It's going to be a Japanese part. It's going to come from somewhere from overseas, because like machine and metal work in the US is kind of rare. the only things we manufacture domestically in terms of like complex goods are like guns, military equipment, and aircraft are like the only things we manufacture here. Because and the reason why guns and military equipment and stuff are manufactured here is because a lot of things like Sikorsky is actually a very good example of a company that would have proprietary military knowledge. The reason why a lot of our tanks and choppers and stuff are manufactured in America is because shipping them overseas would be a massive security risk. So we build them here, you know? But if it's anything we can outsource and build for cheaper, companies are going to do that, because if they can pay $2 for a part for your air conditioner and charge you $9 plus labor to have it installed or replaced, they're going to.
But herein lies the rub, folks. Here's what's happened to the United
We
States.
also do love our
don't have choice
drugs.
anymore.
That's
now,
right. The
I guarantee you,
pharmaceutical
you go to the store and
industry
you
is
have something,
huge here.
the Chinese part. There's probably 3 options, and they're all made in China. Wait, what? There's 3 completely different companies making this product.
He's actually right. He's actually right about this one.
So do I really have a choice at all? No. No matter what part you buy, if the tariff goes into place, you're going to pay it.
I can't really criticize him too much.
We got this way very, very sadly because everyone started going for what's the cheapest, what's the least expensive, what's the biggest deal, how can we cut a corner, how can we save money? And we can sit here and talk about the economics of this all night long. It's corporations getting greedy and saying, hey, we're just going to buy the cheapest components to build our products because it saves us money, right? I mean, we're talking about car parts. These tariffs would probably affect American car makers in a huge way because guess what? They buy all their parts from other countries. We don't make anything here anymore. So to save money, we started buying parts from everywhere but the US. What happened is all those jobs, those manufacturing jobs of making those parts went away. I used to live in Bridgeport, Connecticut, okay? Bridgeport, Connecticut used to be an industrial center. There were factories building components for machines, for products throughout the entire city. And the entire city was employed because of it. And then what happened was these corporations said, wait a minute, we can get cheaper labor and cheaper parts if we go international. So they all did that to save a buck. And you want to know what happened? They closed down all the manufacturing in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and there is none left. What there is a giant district of the city of abandoned buildings that used to be factories. And they haven't done anything with them. They just leave them abandoned.
I can speak to this. This is true. Bridgeport used to, Bridgeport had, Sikorsky was in Stratford, but Bridgeport had a lot of different fabrication and like manufacturing plants. Now they're all gone. Sikorsky has moved from Stratford out, which was like a lot of people in the state worked for companies like Sikorsky and GE and stuff like that.
And now all the businesses have left Bridgeport and none of that exists. So what happened was we let these companies start dictating how our business and our economy was going to work by saying we just need to save as much money, we need to make the maximum profits, not care about employing our own people in our country. And this is how we got this way, okay? Because when I'm hearing this week, I hear about the Trump tariffs. Trump doesn't know what he's talking about because of these tariffs. No, Trump does know what he's talking about, okay? What Trump is going to try to do, he's going to try to leverage tariffs to get these countries to do what he wants in the best interest of the American people. For example, if you go to a related...
No, to be honest, like I'm going to say my opinion on Trump. I don't think Trump actually wants manufacturing to come back to the U.S. because his Make America Great Again hats come from China. Like if you ever buy one of those things and you look at it, it has a Chinese made in China label on it. So I really don't think Trump cares about bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. However, he knows a lot of people that would vote for him care about bringing manufacturing to the U.S. I think this is purely a political move for Trump. I don't think he cares. I think he will always do what is most politically expedient for him. Just like I think Democrats would also do what is most politically expedient for them. I really don't think either party really cares about economics that much. I think they'll just say what they need to say, to be honest.
Article over here. Basically, what's already happened is that Trump had a conversation with the president of Mexico and said to her, listen, if you don't stop these caravans of immigrants from rolling across our borders, I'm going to...
It's just an example, Lucky Limes. If you have another one, I'm happy to hear it. It's just an example. I'm not saying that I'm smart. I'm not saying that I know everything. But I think it's a little bit hypocritical for your hats and t-shirts to be manufactured in China and then you imposing tariffs on countries like China to American consumers. In essence, he's imposing a tariff on his own fan base from his own merch. If you think about it, kind of weird, right?
Hit you with a 25% tariff. I don't care. And she apparently in the call with him said, okay, I get it. This makes sense. We will have to stop it. Now you might say, wait a minute. Why would she say that now, but not in the last presidency of President Biden? Because President Biden's policy was open borders. So because he had open borders, why the hell would the president of Mexico care about caravans of Mexicans rolling towards our borders and trying to get in our country? He wouldn't. At all. President said it was okay. So of course there's no stopping it, right? But now Trump is saying we're shutting that down. No more open borders. No more of this crap. Instead,
borders were not open. Like, what does he mean? What does he mean by open borders? To be honest, like, what does he actually mean? Because by open borders, some people literally mean the ability to immigrate, even if it's regulated, is open borders, which is not true. There's a process and a standard that you go through. People are acting like we're just opening the gate and people are just flooding in without any sort of credentials or documentation. And like, that's not really the case. Not actually. Immigration is a very, very heavily regulated process. Like, yeah, people do get in, but I think open borders, like, they're acting like we're tearing the border walls down, and no one's doing that.
We're going to have a legal process to come in and become an actual registered citizen. We're not going to let these people jump over the border anymore. So now Trump calls her, and apparently in the phone call, she said to him, okay, I agree to this. We're going to work together, and we're going to stop these caravans of immigrants from hitting the borders. Trump goes and tweets out on his Truth Social. I say tweets out, but it's his Truth Social he posts up on all the time. It basically says,
Truth Social. Big ups Truth Social, by the way.
So stopping the illegal invasion of USA. Thank you. Okay. So this is what I mean about Trump being kind of a loudmouth blowhard and why I don't like his leadership style in this regard. If he just kept his mouth shut about this agreement, it probably would have been fine. But what Trump does is he has to immediately run, whoa, look what I did, look what I did. It's like running to your parents with the report card and say, look what I did,
That's
Mom and Dad,
you.
it's on the fridge, give me a golden star.
That's you.
So later, he doesn't need that recognition. I don't know why he's desperate for it. So he opens up his mouth. And what ends up happening, the president of Mexico says, oh, I never said that at all. In fact, in her over here, she basically says, I never said that. Oh, and by the way, if Trump does hit us with tariffs, all right, all we're going to do is we're going to hit them back with tariffs. Now, apparently from what she's saying, whatever the products are that we get from Mexico, which I'm not familiar with, again, I'm not an expert on these economics or anything like that, she's basically claiming her government could kill 400,000 U.S. jobs and drive up prices for U.S. customers if she just decides to issue her own tariffs. Now, I'm going to be honest with you.
True. I actually find that to be true. We're reliant on Mexico for a lot of food stock, actually. Like, tariffs against the U.S. from Mexico would hurt the U.S. quite a bit in terms of like where a lot of our fruits and vegetables come from. Let's see.
I do feel like this is a gross exaggeration. I don't think that our world would end if products that we got from Mexico all of a sudden had a price increase. But the question is, what are they sending us? Are they sending us components to manufacture something? Like, we don't know, right? Off the top of our head. I don't know. So, yeah, it is kind of annoying because we're involved in this. Like, basically, Trump wants to do what's best. He doesn't want these immigrants jumping across the border, right? He does what he thinks is right. Like, what's he going to do? I'll impose tariffs, okay? Immediately, he has to open his mouth and blab about it, which is stupid, which then makes her say,
yeah, Tattoo Jesus, I agree. I agree with you. I'm nowhere near close to the border. I don't know what border towns are like. I live in New York, but this is just my opinion. As I say, I'm not trying to offend anyone. This is just my opinion. And I'm not saying that my opinions are valid. I'm here to call out Phil, and I've made it well known that my politics are left-leaning. Take my politics as you want. I think what I want everybody to realize is that I have a massive left-leaning bias. Therefore, if you're not left-leaning or you disagree with me, maybe take me with a massive grain of salt. I'm not here to offend anyone, and I'm not here to step on toes. I admit there's people in the chat that probably know a lot more than me about everything, but I'm not saying I know what border control is like, or I know what it's like to be, let's say in a town in Texas that's on the border. I have no idea what that's like. So if you have insight, please share it in the chat.
And say that. By the way, I'm just going to get him back with more tariffs. So now we're in a war of words, which is so stupid. You don't need it. All he had to do was be quiet, but he had to open his big blabber mouth, right? So now this is also going on with Canada, all right? But what's funny about this is, what really is going on with Canada and us? Like, I'm not aware of a war on drugs where so many drugs are coming across the border. We're not aware that we have a bunch of illegal Canadians that are rushing our country or anything like that. I think Trump is just trying to flex a little. He's like, listen.
I agree, Tattoo Jesus. Politics are getting annoying, especially from Phil. That's why I do these streams, though, because they are going to drop off kick. And I think they're worth talking over and at least archiving. You know what I mean? Because they are going to drop off kick, which it would suck to lose a lot of these streams, to be honest. And I find these interesting.
I'm back. Daddy's back. And because I'm back, now you got to listen to Daddy. Daddy says, you're not going to mess with us. It's this simple. All right? So whatever you do, don't mess with us, or else we're going to hit you with tariffs. And that's all it is. It's bluster, right? Because I don't think he really has anything against Canada. But the funny part was, Canada pulled an emergency meeting where President Trudeau, or Prime Minister Trudeau, I was getting confused.
Justin.
But basically was, very panicked meeting with his people. Oh my goodness, we got to be very careful about what we do because we don't want to get slapped with tariffs. Blah, blah, blah. What products would we be hit with if this tariff were to go into place? And what can we hit them back with? It's actually funny because if you read some of these stories, you'll actually find out that Trudeau, of all things, did this. He actually did hit us with tariffs. But when Trump was already on the way out of the presidency, I guess Trump had pulled this before in his first presidency, this bluster, right? Trudeau, get this, he put a tariff on yogurt or something like that. So we were trying to export yogurt to Canada, and he said, oh, tariff on that. And all it hurt, like, there was a certain senator in a certain state who owned the yogurt company, and he's like, haha, got him.
Sure, politicians are petty. And there's plenty of people that don't like Justin Trudeau, you know? Justin Trudeau has his own problems as a politician. And he's a very weird and problematic if you look into him. I just think that's kind of funny. He was trolling. Justin Trudeau was quite literally trolling.
like, no, not really. I don't think anyone really cared about your 10% tariff on yogurt. It wasn't a big deal. But he thought it was like a big win.
Trolls
Trudeau
quit
ran
trolling.
to his people this week. Oh my God, what's going to happen if Trump hits us with these tariffs again? What would it affect? And yada yada. So he is nervous about it. But basically, he responded, the same way that the Mexican president did, and kind of said, well, if they hit us, we'll hit them. And it's just back and forth. All right. Now, in truth, do I actually feel like Trump would actually levy tariffs? Okay. Honestly, no, I don't think that he wants to. All right. My opinion. This is my opinion. You could disagree. I think he's trying to use his power. He's going to be the president again. And he's basically trying to call people's bluffs. Listen, I don't want to issue tariffs. It's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I'm aiming for. Right. But hey, if you don't play ball, if you don't help us with our problems, we're going to fine you. And if your problems are coming from you, in Mexico's case, crime, drugs, immigrants, if you keep sending them our way, you do nothing at all to stop it, and you act like it's not.
So he is leveraging tariffs, though. If he's going to make the tariffs about a border control issue, then that's him leveraging tariffs. Why is he's rambling?
Not a problem. We're going to hit you with this financial tariff. And the truth is, it's hardball, right? And I get it. It's financial hardball. But who's it really going to hurt more? Honestly, do you think it's going to hurt the United States of America more or Mexico? It's going to hurt Mexico more. Even though their president is, oh, no, I never said that. But make no bones about it. It's going to hurt Mexico a hell of a lot more than it's ever going to hurt us. It will cost us a little bit of extra money a year. It might crush their economy if we hit them with big enough tariffs. Okay? So that's
DB James. I seem to recall Trump running on the idea of laying down tariffs. Like that was part of his platform. Is that I'm gonna basically make it more difficult for countries that don't help us, which is kind of a politically sensible thing to do if you think about it. Like, if you truly believe that the border control issue can be solved by financial tariffs, then do it. Like, it's actually kind of sensible if you think about it.
Really what Trump is getting at here. It's not, oh, I want to hit these tariffs because we're going to make more money. We're going to line the government's pockets to pay our deficit. That's not
all
what
right,
he's doing.
I'm skipping. He's rambling.
He just wants them to stop sending. That's his personality. They lie about it after the fact. You could have had your agreements, like, really lame. Like, is that what's going to happen is they're going to clap back. So it's a back and forth. If anything, though, doesn't it just feel like really lame? Like, so a world leader called you and the two of you had a conversation and you agreed to mutually help each other. Then all of a sudden we immediately have to run to the internet and to press conferences to start talking about it.
Bruh, you did this with Sutter and Craig. You factually did this with Sutter and Craig. Absolutely. You got him on the show just so you could fake hang up on him. This is the same as your dumb internet beefs. You went on Kino Casino to felt RTU. This is the exact same as your internet beefs. Your internet beefs are even smaller and pettier than this shit. Get the fuck out of here.
It's like,
I'm
these are the people in charge. Crime is at a rise. Drugs is
I'm skipping.
That our attendant must continue. Get a more full picture of how, till I know. Now, also, I'm enjoying myself. I'm okay with the audience of a few hundred. That's fine with me. And let's keep it rolling, shall we? Hopefully,
audience cope.
And it wasn't just like, oh, an isolated thing. Basically, a giant mob of people were absolutely destroying. And it wasn't just like, oh, an isolated thing. Basically.
Oh, crime stats. Crime stats segment. All right, before we move on to the next segment, I am going to open it up to call-ins, if anybody would like to call in. We've got link for the Discord waiting room in the description, and we've got the phone number, which folks can call into. Let me just check the phone. Phone number is 1-917-740-8933. If you like to remain anonymous, use *67 as you're calling. The number again is 1-917-740-8933. If you'd like to call in, feel free to. I'm going to watch the phones during this segment. If not, we're just going to keep pushing on.
A giant mob of people were absolutely destroying the city. Okay? Where are they going to say where the city is? What a crappy article this is.
Toronto. It's Toronto, yeah?
Montreal, here it is.
Yeah.
Trying to find it. He was in Toronto at an Eras concert for Taylor Swift. Okay, and I guess he was there with his daughters. But here he is. I think his family members or whatever are with him, and he's there at this Eras concert. Meanwhile, on the other side of his country, this is happening, and basically, he was there dancing. And
Yahoo News. I know I like to check sources. Yahoo News. I can go either way on Yahoo News. They're basically trying to make the comparison of when there was a devastating ice storm in Texas, and Ted Cruz went to Cancun with his family. People are trying to basically have Trudeau have his like flight to Cancun moment. Let's see what this says.
I didn't even know. He was like clueless. Okay? What happened was at 6:10 p.m., protesters lit a mannequin on fire in the middle of the crowd and began marching together, throwing objects including smoke bombs and metal barriers into the street to obstruct police work. Here's a quick look at it. Ready? Looks like a riot.
Rip Canada, I guess.
always gets me when you see this footage. You always got the guy who has a camera because he wants to document it, but he gets right into the middle of it, and he's like, oh, he gets hurt. It's like, dude, you just stand away, you idiot. Why did you walk like right to where they were doing shit? Get the perfect shot. That guy goes, oh, yeah, you moron. I understand you got to document it. People have to document it for news and for history. If you'd like stand back a little bit. Anyway, so that's going on in Montreal. Meanwhile, here's Toronto. Yeah. Now, I could give you my opinion on people who are Swifties. I think that could be a whole episode.
So he expects, I don't know, a world leader, the leader of a country, to just drop everything when there's a riot in one town. Like, they expect him to leave the concert and make a statement? Hello? I mean, I guess he could have, but it's honestly not his responsibility to deal with riots at the state level. The police do that. Get the Mounties up there. Like, I'm not defending Justin Trudeau, but I think like DSP is being very impractical about this whole thing. And also, there's a weird attitude that people are attaching to this because Justin Trudeau is somehow corrupted because he goes to a Taylor Swift concert with his daughters or whatever, and she's very left-leaning. Like, that's also stupid. Like, I like Taylor Swift. She's very left-leaning. Like, whatever. It is what it is. But he's not abdicating his duty by being at a concert while a riot is happening. That's not a thing. Like, how many weird things have happened when Donald Trump or Barack Obama have been on the golf course? I'm gonna have you guys watch this. I gotta look up a meme.
I mean, okay,
I gotta look up a meme.
If you want to try to encompass some of the most vapid, meaningless music ever created, all you need to do is look at Swifties and Taylor Swift. It really is the most mind-numbing crap. So the fact that you have the Prime Minister of Canada who's decided to attend a Taylor Swift concert, it just encompasses kind of the subject matter at hand here. All right, but then on top of that, he's at the concert while this is going on. Like, these are pretty much close, happening around the same time. Okay, so Canadians flooded social media with reactions.
I got
Swiftie era.
For those who were there in the early days of the post 9/11 Iraq War. I want to show you something.
Anti-Trudeau party, Trudeau is liberal.
If you want to talk about presidents doing weird shit when maybe they should go to the office, you ready for this? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. No, I don't. Fucking TikTok. All right, if you know this meme, one's in the chat. If you know this meme, here we go.
I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
Boom. Straight down the middle. Straight down the middle.
Okay, I don't know what this commentary is, but you get the idea. You get the idea. Like, presidents and world leaders have had egg on their face when like shit's popping off. I don't think this is a bit. I don't think Trudeau being at a Taylor Swift concert while shit's popping off on the other side of the country is that big a deal, really. What's he supposed to do? Go over there and launch tear gas grenades himself? Is he supposed to put on riot gear and pick up a grenade launcher? Fuck no. He's a twink anyway.
This is the conservative side. Basically said Trudeau fiddles while Montreal burns. Here's his video of him dancing, but while Trudeau does.
Like, this is political clickbait. This is just political clickbait. All my real ones in the chat. Big ups, everybody.
Because a lot of people on social media were happy. Oh, look, Trudeau's partying with us. Look at this. He's a cool dude, man. He's partying with us. Canada is lost. We have no leadership and no safety anymore. Okay? So, the city is burning, and like Roman Emperor Nero, PM Trudeau is partying. Jotted down another X user. Pro-Palestine mobs in Montreal, Canada last night, rioting and destroying shops and clashes with police. Feels like history repeating itself. The
he's not partying because the city's on fire. The two events just coincide. Also, this has to do with Israel Palestine. So they're trying to say that he is pro-Palestine. They're trying to hang this around his neck because he went to a Taylor Swift concert. Like, this is the most empty news story I've ever seen. It's dumb.
Like Roman Emperor Nero, Trudeau is partying. So we watch just a tiny bit more. Oh. And what you don't know is that actually there are pets trapped inside the building and no window was left open, so there's no crack of fresh air. So they're just trying to burst the door open to save those very endangered pets inside. That's what's going on here. truly heroic actions of Montreal, right? I mean, any moment,
I don't know. Phil seemed these jokes are terrible.
a lot of dogs
We're moving on.
Anyway, so here's the deal. Basically, people are split on this. Okay, some people are like, well, this is complete irresponsibility by Trudeau. How dare he be out?
This does smell like misinfo, doesn't it? It really, like, this is the weakest bullshit. Like if this happened online, like if this was purely an online thing, we'd call it a gay op. You know what I mean? Not necessarily a gay op, but like such an obvious empty smear. Like, this is pathetic. It's pathetic that this article even got published. No one should even be reading it. It's dumb.
Dancing, listening to Taylor Swift, instead of, running the country, right? Others are like, this is just a dad enjoying a night out with his daughter. I don't know why people are being like so harsh and mean to him. Should Trudeau have left the concert and appeased riders in Montreal? This section, you think so? Like all Canadians, I'm disappointed Justin Trudeau didn't leave the Taylor Swift concert, fly to Montreal, and deliver Lord Humongous Just Walk Away speech from Max 2. There you go.
Yeah. So also, like, look at the tweets they're snapping for this article. Obvious fucking... again... He loves to point out, like, left-wing agendas. He's like, oh, the left is behind this article. They've got an agenda against Trump, this, that, and the other thing. When he's obviously reading a right-wing smear against Justin Trudeau, the door swings both ways. I'm not defending or sweeping for Justin Trudeau, but the fact that he's so illiterate that he can't see the obvious agenda and obvious bias here is really staggering to me.
So basically, that's what happened. Now, I mean, obviously, it's a politics show. It's my show. What's my opinion? What the fuck? What the fuck is that? What? What the hell? I don't even want to know. Why was that on Yahoo? Okay, the whole show just got derailed. What the fuck was that?
Wait, what did he say?
Okay, the whole it's a politics show. It's my show. What's my opinion? What the fuck?
Hey, whoa, hold on. What the fuck is this thing? You got like a pube shaver. You got an electric scooter thing. You got this lady over here. I'd love to talk to her. You've got an exosuit. You've got robot legs, and you got a thing you stuff up your vagina? Huh? Is Kat Googling bionic legs and adult toys? I think Kat is Googling bionic legs and adult toys. Because someone in this house has to be searching this shit for it to be targeted this way. Oh my, yeah. This is definitely something you shove up there. Well, I think Kat's getting her solo panty time, you know what I mean? Or Phil is. Okay, maybe.
What the fuck is that? What? What the hell? I don't even want to know. Why was that on Yahoo?
That's wild, dude.
Okay, the whole show just got derailed. What the fuck was that?
Incredible.
A targeted ad? Well, you missed the target on that one. Maybe that one was for Destiny or something. But anyway, okay, maybe they just assume that if I'm reading an article about Justin Trudeau, I must be liberal or something, right? Anyway.
And wait, vibrators and shavers are liberal? Hello? What's liberal about, like, underwear, vibrators, and electric pube shavers? I'm at a loss. How is that a political discussion? Yeah, Jake Steele, too dented for ad block. Absolutely. I said this last time. Bro needs an ad blocker. There's some good ones out there. Or if he just ran Brave, he'd be all right.
All right, let's get back on subject. We gotta calm down. All right, everyone calm down here. Rein it in. Obviously, you want my take on this, or else why'd I even talk about it? All right? Now,
I must be a liberal because I have vibrators on my ad pages. Fuck you.
Listen, I'll be honest with everyone. I understand that our political leaders around the world are humans just like you and me. And I do feel that our political leaders do have the right to have a night off. I don't know if this actually was like a scheduled night off or not.
All right, and now he's going to fence it.
I have no idea. All right, but the truth is, if he's there and he's spending time with his daughter, maybe the real story here is he was so...
Shiny Teeth says, I guess Kat hated that comment about her bush. Yeah. Well, we know she trims the downstairs now. If we want to extrapolate these targeted ads, and we're good at extrapolating around here, yeah, it's Kat trims down there.
Just like all of us. Like, he's like, dude, I gotta go to a Taylor Swift concert. I mean, first of all, if his daughter's in Taylor Swift, I'm very sorry for him. I mean, that's awful. It basically means she's a lost cause, and but the fact that he took her to the concert or whatever, it's kind of nice. I'm sure he got her VIP seats because he's the prime minister and stuff like that. He deserves to have a night out with his family, totally. But
that's the question, Penitent Sin, isn't it? For who or for whom?
My question then is thus: why are there riots taking place in your country? It's obvious that, according to what they're saying, this has been something. The table's been set. That
all right.
Built up. Words don't really mean anything. Again, out of
all right. If he's gonna ramble, I'm just gonna skip.
Figure it out. split the part here.
I got things to do.
Did I just get 2 more? But this is it. One of the things to be like, red wine is illegal everywhere. Get it out here. It's not allowed. Yet they do nothing about it. If you do nothing about it, it will continue forever. And the protest.
Crime segment. I don't care.
So, something happened this week that no one was expecting. A long-running car maker.
All right. Before he gets into this one, I'm going to open it up for call-ins. I will shill the call-in methods again. Phone number, if you want to call in on the phone, is 1-917-740-8933. You can use *67 for anonymous calling as you're dialing. Again, the number is 1-917-740-8933. And then there's also a link in the description if you're on Discord, if you want to join the Discord waiting room, and then I'll pull you in. So if anybody wants to call in at the beginning of this segment, they can. If not, we're just going to keep it pushing.
Who's known for a certain product line and a certain advertising line. And,
so we're talking cars.
Came out of nowhere with a complete relaunch and new philosophy. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to take a look at it together. I will show you now.
This is
the new
Scout.
Face.
This is Scout, isn't it? Because the automaker Scout that was defunct in 1981, I believe. Scout has come out with an electric SUV that's manufactured via Volkswagen. And they're going direct to consumer. They're not going to use car dealerships. I wonder if that's what this is about.
Of Jaguar automobiles, right?
Oh no, Jaguar. Wow, okay. Yo, this looks like Cyberpunk. Holy shit. Yeah, these look like Cyberpunk characters. Is he going to get all weird about like gender bending and trans stuff? I bet he is. Let's see what he says. Oh, that guy. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure this dude, you guys seen him. He's in Snowpiercer, right? He plays the bald guy in Snowpiercer that is handing out the eggs, and then he takes the gun from the egg crate and starts mag dumping. You know that guy. Oh man, I got derailed. But this dude, I seen this dude in everything. Yeah, he does look like Agent 47, doesn't he?
That was not a parody video. That was real. Jaguar released that officially this week, okay? So if you just see that completely out of context, there's a few questions you might have, all right?
What are the questions?
What the hell did it have to do with cars?
What
Jaguar is an automobile company. What did we just watch? What we did watch was 30 seconds of people who attempted to basically break the mold. Take a look. They're all over different races, different creeds, different genders. Perhaps some of them are not even defined by one gender. I wouldn't know. I actually don't care to know. One of them, for some reason, has a chunk of hair missing out of their head.
Yeah, well, you've never seen this haircut before? This haircut's been a thing forever. Yeah, these people are arguably all gender bending. Some of them even look like pod people. That's the point. Who cares?
I don't know if they were.
It's an ad. You know what, DSP? It worked. The ad worked on DSP because ads want you to pause and microanalyze and pay very close attention to dumb details, so you talk about it on the internet. So guess what? You're shilling for Jaguar. Guess what, dude?
They were trying to clean the lawnmower and they bent over a little too far or something. I don't know. I don't even know what this is. I don't think I want to know what this is. It's maybe too much information for me. But yeah, it's pretty obvious that they were really going for something different here than probably what a lot of people would be looking for in an automobile company ad.
He is right. This would have been a parody ad like 10 years ago.
Molds. Okay, now, maybe I'm just a little bit ignorant. Maybe.
Yeah, wait. Oh, yeah. That is Moss from the IT crowd. Yes, I knew I saw that haircut somewhere. Thank you, Sonny.
I'm not the most informed guy on marketing. Right? I've never run a marketing campaign before.
Because he's got giant hair with a chunk missing right here.
But call me crazy.
That's Richard Ayoade. Big ups for Richard Ayoade.
The advertisement should actually
he's very funny.
Or at least show it, or at least discuss it in some way. Like, for example, if you're trying to sell a candy bar, you wouldn't have an entire ad of someone firing a rifle. And that's it. That's the ad.
Why
never
not?
Show the candy bar, never discuss the candy bar. But that's apparently what they're going for. Like, they really wanted to go as crazy as possible in a very bizarre direction. And of course, the internet is abuzz with this. The world is abuzz with this. Because again, Jaguar is
It worked. This is an obvious play at a viral marketing campaign. Like, they probably made this commercial very cheaply, and now they're getting a bunch of restreamers and people to talk about it. It's working.
Very long-running brand of automobiles. And the fact
Yeah, people know what Jaguar does, and the thing is, Jaguar doesn't need marketing because Jaguar is a car brand that caters exclusively to the wealthy. You know what it is? They want wealthy boomers to see this ad and be like, yeah, that ad's weird, but Jaguars are good fucking cars. I'm gonna drop 120K on a entry-level Jaguar. That's exactly what they want.
that this is what they came out with has people scratching their heads in various different ways, okay? What I like to do is tackle this from two different angles.
What
right?
I like
from
to
one
do,
angle, which is the angle that I think the vast majority of humans on this planet would take it from, is an angle of confusion, an angle of just quandary, like what just happened?
I'm
What
not
did we just
confused.
watch? What's going on? It's almost like it's extreme. There's a difference between like we want to go in a different direction or we want to be more inclusive. You know, all these DEI initiatives and things that have been in companies now for the last 5 to 10 years.
Oh,
we've seen
DEI
the world.
taking
This
shots.
is kind of like, we're literally going as extreme as possible to elicit a reaction from the world. We
Yes.
know what we're doing
Yes.
is going to get this reaction, and
Yes.
that's exactly why we're.
You, if he stops right here, he's correct. If he literally stops right here, well, he's half right. They want to elicit a reaction, and they want people to spread this. That's the whole point.
Doing it, okay? What I like to do, this person here did a great thread on X about this.
Okay. This person says Jaguar just made the most expensive mistake of 2024. They spent millions. They spent millions on a rebrand. Erased 100 years of heritage. Even Elon Musk. Okay, who cares if Elon Musk makes fun of you? Elon Musk's opinion is one of the least valuable opinions in the world right now. He bought Twitter just so he could moderate. Literally, he bought Twitter just so he could moderate. So who cares about what Elon Musk is saying? It's obviously a viral marketing campaign. Do y'all remember during pandemic when IHOP changed their brand to International House of Burgers for a month, and it worked? It got a bunch of people to talk about it and go to IHOP. That's this. That's this on a much larger, more expensive scale. But it fucking worked. And that Jaguar is literally copying the IHOP playbook.
Basically says, Jaguar made the most expensive mistake of 2024. They spent millions on a rebrand that erased 100 years of heritage. So, the company started in 1922, but made their first car in 1935. You can see. They tried to basically make their cars the epitome of excellence. One was known as the most beautiful car. One was known as the fastest car. One was known as a modern masterpiece. And each car was a piece of art until 2021. In 2021, the automotive industry faced a crisis. Tesla began to dominate all luxury.
And this Hosun guy is just a car nerd that's coping. Literally, this car nerd has retweeted about Jaguar like 4 times in this thread, and he's doing their work for them. This guy's a mark.
Electric vehicles. Rising environmental concerns made it that a lot of people
Tesla
shift to electric. We can't have fossil fuel cars anymore. And emissions regulations changed worldwide. And again, the threat that these fossil fuel cars are going to be regulated to the point where they're just not viable anymore. The Jaguar said they were going to adapt. Their solution was radical. They paused all car sales in the UK and announced going all electric by 2025. On November 19, 2024, they revealed their new identity, and no one expected what came next. Instead of showcasing engineering prowess, they launched a 30-second video featuring models in vibrant futuristic outfits and alien-like landscapes. And there's not a single car in sight. Their new logo is Jaguar, emphasizing the British pronunciation Jag-U-R.
No, Jaguar. Here, I'm going to pull up a Jaguar ad, an old school one, because Phil doesn't do the pronunciation justice. Jaguar ad. Band, no. I'm going to type in 2023. Here we go. I found one. Oh, this one. Okay. I can relate to this because this is where I'm at. Hold on. So here is the 2023 Jaguar ad. Let's fucking go. Here we go. Content ID. Content ID. Content ID. Yo, this music's dope. This music hits. This ad's cool as hell. Do they say Jaguar? No. No, they don't. They don't even say it. They don't even say it. Oh, I'll have to. But that ad was dope. That was last year's ad. Yeah. It's not that deep, DSP.
It's not Jaguar or Jaguar. It's Jag-U-R. Get it? You are something.
Yeah, Michael Kitchen says, women drivers, what's next? Yeah.
Jaguar is reimagined. The backlash is instant and brutal. Over 90 million views in days resulted in thousands of memes and endless mockery. When Elon Musk chimed in, do you even sell cars? Criticism went deeper than jokes. It wasn't just about going electric. Tesla proved you can make electric cars sexy. This is about erasing a century of heritage. But here's what makes the rebrand fascinating.
Okay, I'm gonna step out here as someone who is theoretically in the market for an electric car in the next few years when my 2008 car dies, because I'm driving a used car from 2008 that's still works, but I'm gonna need a different car in the next 5 years. I'm considering an electric car. The last thing I'm gonna be buying is a Tesla, by the way.
Jaguar isn't just changing their logo, they're deliberately abandoning 90% of their current customers. Why would a luxury brand do this? Here was the original.
Tesla is the epitome of form over function. They are huge lemons. I've talked to people who've owned Teslas. Servicing them really sucks.
Here was one of their rebrands. Here's what they're doing here. Look. So they want to move to ultra luxury cars that cost over $127,000 US, target a younger, wealthier buyer, transform into an artistic brand, and compete directly with Tesla. But they made a crucial mistake. They confused bold with alienating. You target new customers without rejecting your heritage. You can be modern without being unrecognizable. You can innovate without losing your soul. The numbers tell the story. Jaguar sales already dropped 50% since COVID hit, and now they're betting everything on an attractive new generation of buyers. In trying to appeal to everyone, they're resonating with no one. Time will tell how the rebrand goes. As you can see, I mean, look, their sales are down into the depths. They were.
Could it also be that all car sales are down? Because I think statistically all car sales are down because people can't afford cars. Like, people are buying used cars more than ever because cars are expensive, cost of living is so high, and people don't have any money. There are broader economic factors that would lead to car sales declining, and it seems like car sales have been declining for a long time. If this is to be believed, car sales have been on a steady decline since the early 2000s, 2004. What happened in the early 20th, or what happened in the early 2000s? Two financial crises, right? You got to think of it in those terms.
Making at one point between 10 and 15,000, and now they're below 5,000. So they are tanking. So what
they're tanking, bro.
Is people trust brands for various reasons. A person, a fact about that brand. There's always something that ties something critical to a brand. Jaguar had that, and they literally just threw it away.
Okay, I don't care anymore. I don't want to hear him talk about cars.
The Senate anymore. We've had enough of it. Be the weird cars. Go back to how now. If it happened earlier, or if we had a different outcome, but we're now going to dominate the Senate. And enough with this strategy. Why did you do this? Why did you bother? Right?
All right.
Now, here's the thing.
He's going to talk about Senate and stuff. So Shiny Teeth teased me yesterday. He tagged me in one of the Discord channels, and he said that DSP talks about Sharon Stone showing her vulva. So that's why Sharon Stone's in my thumbnail, in case anybody is wondering. I want to get to that segment. Is that this segment? I don't know. I heard from a few people that he talks about tariffs. We passed that, and he talks about the time Sharon Stone showed her vulva. So let's get to that. Can we?
I actually believe that this strategy is a good one that works. Just not right now. This strategy probably would have worked a year ago, or this strategy might have worked if the Democrats just won the American presidential election, but they lost. And now it's happened in the last few weeks since this happened. You've seen a cultural shift. You are seeing people saying enough is enough with this.
What? He's going to say that liberal or inclusive marketing campaigns don't work because Republicans won the office? No, like a different president being in office doesn't change beliefs inherently. Like, I am a very left-leaning individual. Donald Trump is being sworn into office on January 20th of next year. My political beliefs or affiliation is not going to change as a result of that. I'm still going to believe fundamentally what I believe is my core belief system. He's such an idiot.
Liberal stuff. We don't want this anymore. That's why we voted against it, and that's why we got Trump in. That's why the Republicans are now going to dominate the Senate and the House of Representatives.
He's stupid.
Was the absolutely
That's not news, though.
Worst possible time for Jaguar to launch this kind of rebranding.
Why? No, I would actually argue the opposite. I think there's never been a better time to launch a liberal marketing campaign. I actually think this is a great time for companies to cater to liberals from a marketing perspective and be like, you know what? Trump's going to be in office in January, but we see you. We acknowledge you. If I was in charge of marketing, I would be spamming liberal marketing campaigns right now, because there's nothing more that bleeding heart liberals need right now than comfort. And if you can comfort people through ads, they'll buy your shit. So actually, Phil has it backwards.
This could have worked if it happened earlier, or if we had a different outcome.
He's dumb.
Be the dumbest person on the planet to think that this is what's wanted right now. You just had everyone in the United States vote and say, we don't want that crazy stuff anymore. We've had enough of it. We want to go back to how things were before. That's why we voted that way. So why would you launch this campaign now?
No, he's not.
Choice. I think they were banking on the Democrats winning this election.
No. What does an ad have to do? All right, I'm skipping because this ad has nothing to do with anybody winning the election. This is stupid. I'm not going to waste my time.
You know. So anyway, I don't think that this is a very successful bid, even though this one person from Forbes thinks it is. I think, sadly,
I think it's a great bit. I think, yeah, never let a crisis go to waste. That's right. Deuce Falco, absolutely. Because people stress shop, people stress eat. So if you can give them identity and you can give them comfort in a difficult time, they will buy your shit.
This is a situation that's going to backfire right in their face. And
they're also British. Good point, DB James. They're also a British automaker.
It's not going to be very pretty for them. My honest take. Okay.
Just put Mr. Bean in a Jaguar ad. I'll buy that. I would totally buy Has Mr. Bean been in a Jaguar ad? Does anybody know?
Okay. Whew, all right. So,
you could have like Mr. Bean or like if Helen Mirren told me to buy a Jaguar, I'd buy it. She's like 80 and still hot. You know what I mean?
Basically, I have two other topics that I absolutely want to cover tonight, but I also have a couple quick ones. And I'm debating. I know one of them is going to take probably about 15, 20 minutes. One of them will be faster. So I think we have time for maybe one we can interject here as an extra topic, but I don't know if we're going to have enough time for all of these. So I think maybe we'll talk about this one. This is one that I was talking about.
Google AI says no. Oh, that's a shame. Penitent sin.
I think this one will be pretty good to cover. We're going to watch a lot
That's
of videos.
too bad.
Teach us about inflation, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it together, and then I have two more stories to end the show. Okay?
Oh, he's going to talk about inflation?
Again, thank you to everyone
Let's
who's here,
fucking go.
who's enjoying the show. We have about roughly 40 minutes left, roughly. Guys, if you like the show, please support it. We currently are at $62 out of 150 goal, and obviously we want to keep the streak alive and keep it rolling. At 89, we want to get it to 90 tonight. So if you could support the stream tonight in some way, please do. Whether it be a sub or a gifted sub.
No, he's not in touch with the common people at all. That's right. That's right. Tattoo Jesus.
There, you can actually send a tip, okay? And again,
big ups, brother.
I will go ahead and shout out any contributions or anything that you guys contribute for tonight, all right? By the way, for the record, because some people outright said, well, I want to watch your show, but I don't want to be like having a kick account. You could interact with me by tipping. That's what some people do.
Whoa. That's special. You can interact with me by tipping. Oh, don't worry. You don't need to pull an account. You just need to give me your PayPal info and at least $1. That's great.
I want to watch your show, but I don't want to be like having a kick account. You could interact with me by tipping. That's what some people do. They tip a couple bucks and they say something, I read it out and I respond. That's what you can do if you don't want to have a kick account.
Good job, Phil.
Sound good?
Keep being you.
All right, ready to continue? Okay, here we go. All right, so everyone, there's been a hot topic recently, okay? And the hot topic is thus. Why is
Sonny says Rowan Atkinson is the Aston Martin man. Okay, that makes sense because I feel like it'd be a waste not to put him in something.
That if the mainstream media
Thank you for the research, Sonny. I appreciate you.
Down, that it seems like a lot of Americans are saying, well, I don't get how inflation's going down because I certainly haven't noticed that prices are going down. I mean, I go and I shop, and the prices at the grocery store are just as expensive as they were a year or two ago.
Inflation has largely to do with the value of U.S. currency versus cost of living, but let's see what he says.
In some cases, it seems like prices have gone up. I'm not saving at the pump when I go to get gas. My taxes didn't go down. Like, nothing's going down. So,
I actually find, well, at least where I'm at, I actually find gas to be like relatively cheap right now. It changes literally by the week, but the last time I got gas, which was like the middle of either middle or late last week, it was manageable, let's say.
Why is it that inflation keeps getting reported as, oh, it's decreasing, don't worry, okay? Well, there's a fascinating video on YouTube by someone here.
Yeah, Penitent Sin says gas is $3.15. I remember in like I want to say, was it like 2012 or 2013? I was getting $5 gas here in like 2012 or 2013. It was insane. It was $5 gas.
Who basically kind of breaks it down, saying that our U.S. government very much
$2.89. That's a good deal. Fort Worth raise.
As being lower than it actually is. Let's take a look.
In today's video, I want to explain to you why I believe that the government is underreporting inflation.
What's your source, Phil? Are you going to show the... I hate when he does this. He doesn't show the source.
So long story short, the government underreports inflation to cheat Americans. It's all about the money. So the purpose of this video is to spread awareness. This is my opinion and the way I see it. Let me know what you think. Okay, so here's the situation.
All right, well, let's see if this guy has a dog shit opinion then. Let's see.
The government now reports that inflation is rising at a rate of 2.6%.
I'm going to make my screen much smaller for this because there's going to be a lot of data on the screen. So I want you to think about that. The government is saying inflation is rising at 2.6%. Okay?
But are prices really going up by 2.6% a year? Or is it truly more? But why would the government be dishonest and not report to the American people the true rate of inflation?
Oh, really? You had that in your brain? Big up, Sonny.
Number one, the politicians lie for political gain. And number two, the politicians and government officials lie so that the government saves money.
Again, two incredibly cold takes. Go on.
Now, when he says political gain, of course what he means is if a politician is reporting accurately what inflation really is, and inflation is very high, people are going to be like, well, then you're doing a bad job as a politician. You're supposed to be a public servant. Okay? So if you're a public servant, why are you not doing things to benefit the American people? Government saves money. Well, let's be honest. Our government is an insane amount of debt, and I'm sure any penny that they can save, they're going to try to cut corners no matter what. Okay.
So let's start with political gain. And this one's going to be short because it's straightforward.
It's probably Twitter.
They benefit from people thinking that things are going better. Okay.
I would say that this is like potentially Singaporean propaganda, but it'd be much more well produced. Like the Singaporean propaganda we watched last week was way better produced than this guy.
Yeah, bad news, not a good look, not popular, doesn't win votes, but good news, looks better, wins more votes. You want to stay in power?
Okay, I'm skipping this. I'm skipping this.
Based on government change.
Why? I'd be embarrassed if I was doing a political talking stream and I pulled this up as like a discussion point. I'd be embarrassed. This fucking middle school power, like this is middle school level logic on a PowerPoint. I'm skipping. I don't want to put myself through this video. I don't want to put you guys through this.
They're the ones who are in Congress.
I don't care.
Continuing on with this very left-leaning, celebrities were there talking about the results of the U.S. election. And the one particular.
All right, celebrity election results. Oh, is this Sharon Stone? Let's go. He's gonna badmouth my girl Sharon Stone.
I want to talk about tonight that a lot of news outlets covered.
The source is Clear Valley. All right.
Is Sharon Stone, American actress. All right, you may know her, you may not.
American treasure, by the way, national treasure. Sharon Stone, been in many good films. Most known for uncrossing her legs and showing her vulva on Basic Instinct. Just so you know, just so you have the context. Go look that up off stream. I'm not showing it.
Very popular in the late 80s, all through the 90s, and in the early 2000s. She had some big roles. She even won a big award. All right. So, Sharon Stone, here she is in Italy, accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, she fucking deserves. She is a legit fox. Oh, big ups women's cardigan.
WWE champions time.
Thanks for the support. Women's Carriage and my wife outgrew says, can't call in but wanted to mention. One of my fav themes of DS Politics is Phil's inability to measure credibility of sources, whether that's eat vid, Twitter post or website. Prog number 1 rule of news.
Correct. Which is exactly why I started doing these streams, is because I had a news background in a past life. I used to work at a news station. So one of my things is I like to at least try and understand what perspective the source is coming from. And Phil does none of that.
Okay, at this film festival or whatever.
Big ups women's cardigan.
Okay? So, it's the Torino Film Festival. That's what it was. She was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award. She didn't mention Donald Trump by name. She appeared to be referencing the president-elect and his supporters while sharing her thoughts on the incoming administration.
Okay, and the source is Access Hollywood, and Access Hollywood is a tabloid. So I would, if I were Phil, I'd be taking the way this 3 minute 32 second video is presented with a massive grain of salt, because Access Hollywood were the celebrity trolls and clickbaiters before online trolling on YouTube was really prevalent. So I wouldn't even really cite this as a source, to be honest.
Let's hear what Sharon Stone.
Also, I have to say, I love Sharon Stone. She's very attractive, even still. Was incredibly attractive back in her day. So that's my bias. I just love Sharon Stone, all right? She was a good Catwoman, good in Basic Instinct, as well as a few other Paul Verhoeven films.
I think we have to really stop and think about things. And we have to stop and think about who we choose.
She's quiet. Can I boost her any? Yes, I can.
For government. And if, in fact, we are actually choosing our government, or if the government is choosing itself. Sharon Stone.
If we are choosing the government, or if the government is choosing itself. Let's continue before I make a comment.
Is speaking out on the post-election climate in the U.S. The Oscar nominee didn't hold back at the Torino Film Festival in Italy on November 24th, where she was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Though Stone did not mention Donald Trump by name, she appeared to be referencing the president-elect and his supporters while sharing her thoughts on the incoming administration.
You know, Italy has seen fascism. Italy has seen these things. You guys, you understand what happens. You have seen this before. My country is in its adolescence. Adolescence is very arrogant. Adolescence thinks it knows everything. Adolescence is naive and ignorant and arrogant. And we are in our ignorant, arrogant adolescence. We haven't seen this.
Correct. America is only a few hundred years old, and on the world scale and on a long timeline, that's a blink of a fucking eye.
This before in our country. So Americans who don't travel, who 80% don't have a passport, who are uneducated, are in their extraordinary naivete.
She's talking about Phil, by the way. Let's hear that again. By the way, I want you to pay attention to her statement. Her next statement right here. Let's see.
Arrogant adolescence. We haven't seen this before in our country. So Americans who don't travel, who 80% don't have a passport.
I would disagree that we haven't seen glimpses of fascism in our country. McCarthyism was huge in like mid 20th century. We had the Red Scare. We had people being taken away from their homes. We had Japanese internment camps in World War II. Like we done seen fascism. Like fascism arrived in World War II. All right. So I want to correct Sharon Stone on that point. We've seen fascism because we've had California internment camps of Japanese people. And we've locked up people for being left-leaning communists back in the late 40s, early 50s. Like it's happened. It's happened.
Who are uneducated.
Cardigan says Native American atrocities in the 1800s. Andrew Jackson. Yep, we've had eugenics experiments performed on Native American men and women. Still prevalent today, by the way. We've had the Tuskegee experiment. And we are still feeling the effects of the Tuskegee experiment. So the government has meddled in people's lives in a way you could call fascism for decades, if not hundreds of years, depending on how you look at it. So I want to correct Sharon Stone and actually say that America has been very fascy before. And arguably, some fascist nations in the mid 20th century saw what America was doing and got it from them.
Are in their extraordinary naivete.
According to the State Department,
And that's Phil, by the way. Phil is extraordinarily naive.
51% of Americans hold a valid passport.
Oh, wait. Oh, burn. Ooh. Access Hollywood with a sick burn against Sharon Stone. Damn, they didn't have to say that. They could have just let it go. They're like, no, we got to call her out on this one.
All right.
At State Department, 51% of Americans hold a valid passport.
No, they're not. That's not a sick burn. They're just correcting the record. Like I did. I corrected Sharon Stone. Did you guys notice that? I corrected Sharon Stone because America has seen fascism. We are no stranger to it.
Oh, wait. Oh, burn. Ooh. Access Hollywood with a sick burn against Sharon Stone.
That's right.
Damn, they didn't have to say that. They could have just let it go. They're like, no, we got to call her out on this one. They immediately got her. Boom. Fact check. You don't know what you're talking about. Wow.
As of October 2024, up from 46% the previous year. Stone publicly supported Kamala Harris in the election.
What? She did? I never would have suspected.
And her latest comments come
Yeah, so having a political opinion is somehow problematic. Philip.
months after she told Deadline that she was considering a move to Europe in light of the political tension.
All right, again, that's stupid. Don't I really wish celebrities would never do that. I really wish celebrities would never take the tack of, oh, if Trump wins, I'm moving away. Alec Baldwin did it. Ellen DeGeneres did it as we know last week, and now Sharon Stone. Like, just shut up. I love you, Sharon Stone. You're a legit fox. You're one of the greatest. You're one of the greatest Hollywood foxes of all time. One of the hottest ladies of all time. Great actor, gifted, talented. But please don't do that, because you only fuel shit like this.
Oh, she's considering a move to Europe. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, honestly, Leo, Canada or Ireland or wherever she ends up can have Rosie O'Donnell. They can have her. I don't see anything redeeming about Rosie O'Donnell. She's just annoying.
It's like something we talked about last week, but I just can't seem to remember. It's only the most viewed clip of the show from last week, right?
The States. Her remarks at the Torino event were in response to a question about the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, and the actress went on to explain how honorable men should step up to make sure women aren't waging this issue alone.
Oh my God, stop it. Sharon Stone, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You're actually taking a lot away from women by saying men should step up to help women. Like, they should. They should. But it sounds cringe coming from someone as privileged and out of touch as you. I'm not going to lie. I love Sharon Stone, but you're being cringe right now, Sharon.
The only way that we can help with these issues is to help each other. Now, we can't just say that women should help women, because that's the only way we have survived so far.
Like, just because you have a platform and you can say something doesn't mean you should. Like, you're being cringe, Sharon. That's the only reason this this video was published, is because it was a cringe moment from Sharon Stone. Like, I gotta check her on this. You never should have said this, Sharon Stone. Love you.
We must say
you
that
never
good
should have
men
said this.
Must help good men, and those good men must be very aware that a lot of your friends are not good men, and you can't continue to pretend that your friends are good men when they are not good men.
I don't know. I think I think it's reductive to say that any man who votes for Trump is a bad person. I think that that's politically reductive and like very disingenuous.
And you must be very clear-minded and understand that your
clear-minded. I love how she said it.
Friends who are not good men are dangerous, violent men, and you have to keep them away from your daughters, your wives, and your girlfriends.
Okay, Sharon Stone, stop it.
Friends, because this is a time when we can no longer look away when bad men.
I didn't think that Sharon Stone would make me cringe on this stream more than Phil made me cringe, but holy shit, Sharon.
Sharon Stone weighing in, right? Well, first of all, it's funny because she's saying this while she's in Italy. You know what I mean? Like, she's literally over there.
Yeah, she's over there accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award while you're sitting in your gamer chair at 42 in your smelly office.
In Italy, to say this at a Torino Film Festival. You know, I mean, she could be saying it here, but she probably has, admittedly, right? She probably has. And she's not the only one. Like Alec Baldwin was over there saying similar things and stuff like that. All right? So to be quite frank, it's not just her. It's just that she's one of the big ones that everyone was talking about this week. Did you hear what she said about basically Americans are uneducated. They don't understand what it's like to have a dictator. So that's why they voted for Trump. All right, so first off, before I even respond, I'm a little curious, I don't know. I'm trying to refresh my memory here. Sharon Stone, she received a Lifetime Achievement Award over at the Torino Film Festival. Sharon Stone got a lifetime...
Are you going to talk about her vulva? Phil, please talk about her vulva and see what happens. Someone's going to clip that, aren't they?
Achievement Award at the Torino Film Festival. I want to refresh my memory on Sharon Stone's filmography. So in the 80s...
Okay, let's see. Stardust Memories, good. Never seen this. Cold Steel, decent.
Where she got her start.
Oh, she was in Alan Quartermain. Alan Quartermain, by the way, sort of lost Sean Connery series of movies. Watch Alan Quartermain. They're fucking cool. Action Jackson, Beyond Our Stars.
She had a bunch of films no one ever heard of. Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol, she had a role. Okay, Action.
Total Recall. Okay, he can't say Total Recall is a bad movie and that her performance in it wasn't good. Total Recall, one of the best movies ever made.
Jackson, right? And then her first big break really was Total Recall. If you recall, she played Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife in that. A small role.
No, a small role? Are you kidding me? Sharon Stone was like pivotal to the thing. Oh my God. She made the whole illusion work. It was her character that like kept the whole thing going. Yeah, spoilers, she got shot in the head, but
her big break, where everyone talks about, her most distinctive role ever that she ever did in Hollywood, where she was nominated for a whole...
Okay, so despite her showing her vulva on screen, she was incredible in Basic Instinct. Very scary. Incredibly scary.
Whole bunch of awards. And she didn't win any, by the way. She didn't win any major stuff for this, but she was nominated for a whole bunch. Was Basic Instinct. Anyone remember this movie? In this movie, she basically plays a sociopath who messes with people's emotions. And the only reason...
Incredible.
...that anyone remembers her in this movie is because in the movie, she crosses her legs and shows off her private parts.
Just say vulva. It's much more fun. I choose the word vulva because it's fun to say. Vulva.
I wish that was a joke. I'm not kidding you. That's literally Sharon's
private parts. I also want to note that if you look at the restraining order that Meth Bear and I went over, Kat's restraining orders, Kat also used the word private parts in her police report to refer to her vagina. That's a very childish kind of way to say it. I choose to take the funnier sounding part of the anatomy because I think vulva is just a funny word, and it rolls off the tongue sometimes literally. But it rolls off the tongue. It's fun to say on stream. He says private parts. That's lame, dude.
Stone's claim to fame is spreading her legs in an R-rated movie, and you could see her downstairs.
Okay, so oh wait, hold on. See her what? See her what, Philip?
I'm not kidding you. That's literally Sharon Stone's claim to fame is spreading her legs in an R-rated movie, and you could see her downstairs area.
So you're calling her a whore then? He's calling her a whore, essentially, right? He's going to discredit her entire filmography. She's been Oscar nominated. She just accepted a Lifetime Achievement Award in Torino. And he's going to boil it down to her showing her vulva on camera. Okay.
Okay. Now continuing on.
Yeah, much more fun to say vulva. I'm glad someone agrees with me. It's just a fun, easy way to refer to Sharon Stone's vagina.
In her filmography, she went on to try to be a leading woman in other movies. And she
She was a leading woman in other movies.
Got the Raspberry Award for Worst Actress.
Okay, plenty of people have won Oscars and Razzies. Demi Moore is another good example who's been nominated for multiple Oscars and multiple Razzies. Demi Moore has been nominated for Oscars and Razzies in the same year, I'm pretty sure. Razzies don't mean anything. They're just razzing, dude.
But she also got the Most Desirable Female Award, okay? Again, Raspberry Award for Worst Actress, but Most Desirable Female Award. I'm starting to see a pattern here, okay? Literally throughout her career. Most of the time when she ever got noticed was not for her acting, it was for her body. Not for her mind, or her talent.
And how many Oscars has Arnold Schwarzenegger or Hulk Hogan been nominated for? Because Hulk Hogan's been in movies, by the way. Has he been nominated for Oscars? Hello?
Because she had boobs and a butt, right? Continuing on,
what?
It was for her body, not for her mind or her talent, but because she had boobs and a butt.
Way to objectify Philip. Because she had boobs and a butt? Hello? Did you take Panda up on her offer to be your girlfriend because she had boobs and a butt? Did you move Kat in because she had boobs and a butt? Fucking asshole.
Right? Continuing on, she did actually get an award for Casino.
Imagine talking about a woman this way. Imagine hate. So I've heard a lot of people, but by a lot of people, I mean like 5 or 6. But a few people added me in the Discords about this and was like, yeah, Phil just hates women. And I think if nothing else, this segment proves that he just hates women. He resents women for being hot, and he resents women for winning awards and like being beautiful and stuff like that. He just hates women, and this segment seals it. If you listen, I doubted his autism. DS Politics has shaken me out of the idea that Phil is not autistic. I believe he has autism, and I firmly believe he just hates women. It's not that he's gay. I don't think he's gay at all. Actually, I think he just hates women and identifies with men better. So I think he seems gay, but I think he just hates women more than he likes men. You know,
for winning Golden Globe Best Actress. Actually, no, she was nominated. She didn't win. I thought she won. Oh, okay, she didn't win. Okay, so she was good in Casino, but then Raspberry Award.
She was in The Sphere. She was in dude. He wants to say she was Gloria Swanson in the movie Gloria. So she got leading roles, Razzies or not. The Muse, nominated for Golden Globe Best Actress in a Motion Picture. Yeah, he's cherry picking.
Raspberry Award. Should I keep going? Raspberry Award. This is 2004. Raspberry Award for Basic Instinct 2 when they finally made a sequel like a decade later. And then basically since then.
They were talking about, well, so when I was eating breakfast this morning, I had the inclination to go back and yeah, I agree, Julio. He thinks it's the 1950s. I had the inclination during breakfast this morning to go back and listen to the Desperate Measures Dense Sea Scrolls episode on WPIG. He spends those dudes spend like 20 minutes talking about Sarah Shahi's boobs. And like, listen, I am a Sarah Shahi enjoyer. I have enjoyed many TV shows that Sarah Shahi has been on. I am not gonna besmirch Sarah Shahi here. Just for context, let's pull up a picture of Sarah Shahi here. So we know what we're working with. Here.
Do you remember her being in any of these? Do you ever remember?
They spend a like consequential amount of time talking about how her boobs look on that episode. And listen. I'm gonna click the images tab. Okay, nothing that'll get me kicked here. But yeah, Sarah Shahi, good looking lady. But 25-year-old Phil spent like an uncomfortable amount of time being like, oh, she's hot. I'm going to look up the season of the L Word that she was on so I could see her naked, you know? And now we get Prude Side Phil in 2024. Really wild.
For any of these movies? The Fading Gigolo. Oh, man, when I remember when she played that Dr. Parker Award in Fading Gigolo, it really touched my heart, and it's just one of the best performances I've ever heard. As you can see, that's it.
If y'all enjoy Sarah Shahi, you know what I'm talking about.
I didn't. Beauty here today.
She's a treasure.
This is a woman whose career was based on like a 5-year period where the only thing she was known for was crossing her legs in an R-rated movie and then having a body. This, not even being a good actress, not even, you know.
No.
But now she's going to go over.
Has he seen the film? She was legit scary and intimidating and fantastic in that film.
The Torino Film Festival in Italy, and she's going to lecture us all on our intelligence level. Like she's some fucking brainiac, pariah. I know everything about politics. I know better than you. You're all dumb and immature. But I know all about world history and how...
I will agree with DSP that celebrities think because they're celebrities that they think they can prescribe politics to you. That's very annoying. Alec Baldwin's been doing it for 30 years, and he's annoying. Rosie O'Donnell's been doing it for even longer than that, and he's annoying. And I would even call, as much as I love Sharon Stone, I would say Sharon Stone is annoying here, but Phil is being a prick about this entire thing. I don't think Sharon Stone should have ever used this platform to say shit like that, because when an old celebrity that's worth like $100 million comes out and tells you how you should vote, it's never going to not look cringe, in my opinion.
Fascism works, and now Trump is really a dictator and all of that. I know. By the way, hold on, let me cross my legs again and try to make another $1 million, right? What the fuck are you talking about? Are you insane? Who are these Hollywood people who have done nothing, literally nothing, to earn their popularity, their fame, their money? Flash in the pan bullshit. They gave her a Lifetime Achievement Award when she only was in like 4 good movies. And even then, she was just known as the attractive female in said movies. She wasn't even a good actress. But you're going to lecture me about politics?
So Phil, you're not even a good gamer then, right? We could apply similar logic to Phil. You're not even a good gamer. The only reason why you're still relevant is the trolls and this is how you don't play. Same logic for you, man. You're nothing. You're nothing. You're a dude who plays games that the trolls make content out of. Similar logic, no?
In 2024, like you have any pertinence to anything on this planet? No, Sharon Stone.
Oh my God, Sonny, I am so grateful that Alec Baldwin never actually got into politics. Lord, we would be in an objectively worse place if Alec Baldwin successfully got into politics. Holy shit.
You're the same as Ellen DeGeneres last week. You think you know better than everyone because you're rich and famous. But in reality, you don't live with the rest of us.
Okay.
You don't see the struggles. You don't feel the problem of the penny pinching in the pocket.
Sure, Phil.
You're ultra rich for no reason. You never earned it. But
you get $150 a stream to eat a hamburger every Friday, Phil. You're not like everyone.
Now you think you're above all of us. I'm so much smarter than the American populace. If that's the case, if you think you're so smart, leave. Go with your friend Ellen, and you can live in the same house together too. How about that? How about we have a big house of celebrities who can't take it? They're coping and seething so badly because Trump won the election, and they think they're so much smarter than the average American that they just leave. Please go ahead and leave the country and leave us normal humans alone.
Okay, so he's saying it's cringe for people to leave, but then he's saying, oh, you should just leave then. Okay, whatever.
Basically want people to completely, what did that elephant do to him, you know?
I don't care.
Not the kind of graphic content I need to warn you about. I'm serious. Incredibly graphic content, all right? Again, they're supposed to be protecting animals. Now, right, and we're on the right track. We're in the right direction.
PETA.
Who's going to do it?
Let's go.
Who's going to hit the goal tonight and continue the streak? All right, let's find out. All right, so PETA has released their Thanksgiving campaign, all right? Again, they're supposed to be protecting animals. Now, folks, I need to warn you of something. Graphic content.
I need to warn you?
Graphic content,
it's
right?
graphic.
I have to warn you of this. I'm serious. You might say, oh no, did they show like, you know, turkeys being inhumanely beheaded and butchered, gory, right? Blood squirting everywhere. No, that's not the kind of graphic content I need to warn you about. I'm serious. I need to warn you about a different kind of graphic content. So I'm warning you right now, you might not want to watch this segment. All right?
DSP is a stranger to stuffing turkeys, obviously.
I present to you, unedited, straight from PETA's X account, their own Thanksgiving campaign for 2024. I swear to you, this is real. When you say it out loud, it's clear this norm isn't normal. Hashtag Thanksgiving. Ooh, let's open up those legs and stuff it in all the way. Meanwhile, the kids are saying, ew, gross. What? Prepare yourselves.
Okay, this is a family just being funny. I'm pretty sure I've seen this joke in real life at Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure I've been at Thanksgiving where people have been like, yeah, time to stuff the turkey. You gotta open up its legs and go all the, like, I've heard this joke. Have you guys ever heard of, what's his name? Don Imus? Imus in the Morning, conservative radio talk show host. He makes the same fucking Thanksgiving joke in radio form every year. This is not a new joke. This is not a new or novel joke. I think it's kind of funny, but I also think it's kind of weird, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, DB James, it's dad jokes. It's not that deep. It's dad jokes.
What the hell? Did you think you would ever see something like that for PETA? I mean, that is just wrong. That is just, I don't have to tell you what that looks like.
What's up, Atlas? Yeah, it's almost like it's not original.
Analyze this because I want you to take a look at this from a few different angles. But wait, okay, hold on.
It's almost like it's a copy of a copy of a copy.
Basically, first of all, just the post, all right?
Oh boy, even the dog is involved. Look at this. I see why he's upset.
When you say it out loud, it's clear this norm isn't normal. Now, hold on a second. Imagine if you never scrolled down And then you just start looking at the picture. It's like, this norm isn't normal. Wait, what? A woman who's black.
Honestly, DSP, this single panel comic is done this way so that rubes like you talk about. Literally, it's done so that people like you talk about it. You stupid asshole.
Black and a guy who's white together and they have kids together. Oh, that's not considered normal. What? Did PETA a bunch of fucking racists?
What? Hello? I gotta hear that again.
Imagine if you never scrolled down and then you just start looking at the picture. And it's like, this norm isn't normal. Wait, what? A woman who's black and a guy who's white together and they have kids together. Oh, that's not considered normal. What? Did PETA a bunch of fucking racists? Damn.
How can you make a comic about animal cruelty about race mixing? How can you do that? It's factually not about... It's never about race mixing, dude. What are you fucking talking about?
I wasn't expecting them to say that. Why would PETA be like, this isn't normal to have a black woman and a white guy?
He's really special.
I need to report them for racism because I think that we need to have some community notes on this post, okay?
So this tells you, by the way, that anytime there is a black person and a white person in a family setting in something that he watches, he views it through a racial lens, no matter what. This tells you a lot about Phil's psychology, in my opinion.
One. But then when you scroll down, I mean, what are they thinking? In what household?
Correct. So women's cardigan, that's kind of what I'm trying to say, but you had the words for it. Phil lets Twitter confirm his bias. There were a lot of people on Twitter saying the exact same thing. It's not that deep. This comic is pretty, in my opinion, pretty lighthearted about how weird stuffing a turkey is. And it is weird. It's like stuffing a turkey is a very weird practice, and it's strange and kind of gross. But it's not about race mixing, you fucking asshole.
In the United States of America, is someone stuffing the Thanksgiving turkey and thinking that it's a private part and talking like this?
Private parts again?
I think we got a bunch
Why
of
does he call them
perverts
private parts?
Because they think that this is how the average American makes their dinner. Perhaps it means they just never had an actual turkey dinner before. I certainly don't remember my mother or my great aunt stuffing the turkey and talking like this. Okay. Plus, what kind of responsible people would be talking like that when they know that their kids are right there in the house?
What kind of responsible people are going to stuff a turkey in front of their kids? Hello?
And look at their faces. It's like they're deviants. They're disgusting sexual deviants. We stuffing the turkey and acting like this. And of course, this makes you think of all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, dude, Grimner, that's a really good point. Grimner says, remember when he scolded Adam for making the slavery joke about race? And here we are. Yeah, he's making a lighthearted comic about avoiding animal cruelty and about how there may be elements of animal cruelty associated with Thanksgiving tradition about race mixing. This isn't even subtext. He's adding subtext here where it doesn't exist.
What do these people like, in their normal life outside of in the kitchen? It's like, oh, no, I don't want to think about things being stuffed. Oh, God. All right? This is their actual campaign.
Also, Phil's a prude. Phil's a prude who doesn't like talking about sex, and moreover, he doesn't like the idea of like biracial sex and like biracial marriages and children and things like that. He's been very clear about that in the past.
Stuffing a turkey feels wrong. That's because it is. No, stuffing an actual turkey doesn't feel wrong, but your disgusting sexual fantasies around stuffing the turkey sure feel...
Disgusting sexual fantasies? Whose disgusting sexual fantasies? Whose? Yours? Because you're the only one that's associated sexual fantasies with turkey stuffing. Oh my God, what a prude. To react to this comic in this way, this is mental illness, Philip.
Wrong to me. This doesn't say making Thanksgiving dinner is wrong. This says the people that work at PETA are disgusting freaks. I mean, you want to talk about a backfire?
Well, they are disgusting freaks because they rehome animals. They're very militant. They rehome animals if they find stray cats, even stray cats with collars on them. They rehome animals. They do a whole bunch of militant shit. But this is probably one of the most inoffensive things that PETA has ever posted.
So number one, you're racist because the norm. This isn't
normal.
Yeah,
talk about projection, tattoo Jesus.
Number two, when I'm stuffing Thanksgiving turkey, I'm having disgusting deviant sexual thoughts. Okay, PETA, 2 thumbs up for you. Wow. Okay, well, folks, that's it for this week's edition of DS Politics. I certainly hope that you enjoyed the show, and I just want you to know that next week I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to do the show because it really depends. But there's a strong chance that I might have Thursday off next week because that's the day of the week that my wife has off at work, and simply because
all right, I don't care.
The goals belted by Troll.
He got the goals.
Tomorrow we're gonna have
whatever. All right, politics is done. I'm gonna open it up to one final call-in segment. If anybody wants to say any final words, you can call in, as I said, via the phone. Number is 1-917-470-8933. And also you can use *67 to anonymize yourself while dialing if you prefer to do it that way. Or you can use the Discord link in the description to hop in the Discord waiting room, and I'll pull you in. We'll take a few minutes to say goodbye and see if anybody is in the Discord or on the phones. So I'll give that a couple of seconds. Let's clean up our tabs here. All right, so we can say goodbye to Kick. We can say goodbye. Regrettably, we're going to say goodbye to Sarah Shahi. So take in Sarah Shahi while I still have her up. But Sarah Shahi is a gem.
Champions time.
Big up Shiny Teeth.
Thanks for the support. Shiny Teeth says, so by Phil's logic, he's racist for noticing their race.
Correct. By Phil's own logic to Adam Krigler. All right. Well, so we said goodbye to Sarah, and if we don't have any callers, I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to send you guys to the TBS thing with Kinda Sav. Let me get the redirect ready to go, and then I'll send you guys off. Thank you very much for the show, guys. I appreciate the positivity in chat. I appreciate everybody being pretty civil. The chat has stayed pretty civil. Yeah, I'll send you to that being said for Kinda Sav. So bye everybody. Thanks for coming along. I plan to do the same thing next week. If it's not DS Politics, it'll be something else. But we'll see you again next time. Big ups. Thanks for coming along. Bye everyone.
It's your turn, bro.
And thanks for the sub. Bye. Bye.